Hey, PaizoCon people! Welcome to the Dragons and Things Network, sort of, kind of. We're, of course, being streaming on official Paizo's channel, but we are the Dragons and Things Network. We play a lot of games on our channel, but we are lucky enough to have been invited to come and play some games here to kick off the live streaming PaizoCon special. And we could not be more excited to be doing it. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at our beautiful players? And we can bring them up so that you can see all of their lovely faces.
Yeah!
Hey!
Everybody!
You know, we can't get together in our awesome studio and stream. And we can't take the arduous and dangerous drive to be at PaizoCon in person. But we could definitely stream some awesome games. Thanks to Paizo for putting this all together. That's shout out number one is for Paizo putting on this online convention, making it feel like the good old times where we can all just play some games and have a good time. Really, really appreciate that. And I know it's a lot of work to put together streams, especially when you've got so many different types of content all coming together, panels and different gaming groups and all this stuff. So thanks very much, Paizo, for inviting us on and for making all of this possible. I don't want to spend too much time doing announcements and yada yada because we're all here to watch some games get played, but I do want to take just a moment to introduce our players. We've got Ben Birch down there in the bottom right. Then we've got Nathan Andrasek.
Hello.
We've got
Sorry, I wanted to say hi.
Oh, I hear you talk. I just wanted to go ahead, Nathan.
Hi.
Well done. Well done. In the very middle, front and center, we've got Megan Caves, who is not only part of the Dragons and Things Network, but she's part of the Saving Throw Show channel as well. So she is all over the streams these days. Everywhere. Next to her, we've got Jamie Mills, who is a part of Dragons and Things Network, and also she's married to Ben. So we've got our like husband-wife team coming in. And then last and least, definitely the person we don't like to talk about at all is Adam Kahn over there. I'm just kidding. We love Adam Kahn deeply, and he is with us here today.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I froze for a moment. I just brain melting. Without too much further ado, why don't we go ahead and play some Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Nice.
Welcome to Heroic Endeavors Incorporated, where licensed champions of justice take on the hallowed task of defending the lives, honor, and premium insured assets of everyone with an open and up-to-date contract who requires the aid of heroes. 5 such heroes sit in a small conference room at the HEI headquarters in the great city of Cavalocia. They are keen, experienced adventurers, ready for any task set before them, and they await word for what dangers they will face today. The only door to the room opens, and an HEI administrator hurries into the room, a stack of folders in his slender hands. He drops the folders onto the table with a tremendous slapping sound and opens the one at the very top. His eyes go wide. He blinks twice, looking around at all of you. Under his breath, you hear the word, "Really?" And then he shrugs. Okay, you're headed to meet with a client in the Serota Forest to slay a dragon? No, I think. The administrator pauses, clearly at a bit of a loss. Well, do you understand the nature of your assignment? What do you do?
We read
comments!
It's true.
Comments!
We periodically take a moment just to chat with you guys. So if you have any questions about who we are and what we do, now would be the great time to put them in the chat. We will actually, we'll put a little timer up. We'll take about 2 minutes to just chat with you guys, and then we'll jump into the adventure.
Avos says, look at these beautiful people. Except for that bald guy. He's weird.
He is weird, but he's also beautiful in his own way.
I like this one from Lava Bean saying, blink 3 times quickly if you are being held against your will. I can't blink, Lava Bean.
There's a couple about Megan. Megan, do you want to
you want to go after those? Have you seen them?
Well, I see. It's Lucas Martinez says, man, could Megan have even tried to get dressed up a little? I'm sorry. I'll do better next time.
It's okay. It's okay.
Adam Daigle says, hey, y'all, thanks for doing the show. You're welcome, Adam.
Hey, thanks for having us on here.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Vice the Legend says 100% thought you said we read comics.
Dude, that's all we're going to do for the next 2 hours. Buckle up, everybody.
Oh.
It's all different comics, too, and we're not going to read them out loud.
We might show you the artwork every now and then, though.
Maybe.
We definitely have a real question. Baron Hard asks, how long have you guys been streaming?
Oh, wow.
It feels like
It's been-
forever.
It feels like forever. 3 days. No, we've been going at it for like 3 years now. 4 years now.
Yep.
It's been the Dragons and Things Network has been trucking along for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And Sarah BC1 wants to know, buffs? Are you using buffs today, Jim Jam?
We don't have really any. I mean, like, because we're on Paizo's channel normally, we have donations where people can throw bits or donations out there to affect the game in a whole lot of different ways. But this is PaizoCon. We're just here having fun with everybody. So we do not have those today.
Brandon R. Baker had a great question. They asked, how do you suggest people find the right team players? What I've done, Brandon, is just call into random Zoom channels and see who's playing a game. I bring a character and I just try and go along with it. That's how he got here, actually. That's how I got here. That's how I got on the show.
He just showed up. We don't really know Nathan, and we don't want him around, but he just keeps breaking into our Zoom rooms. We cannot figure out how to lock him out. So here he is.
Yep.
Real quick, Jim, the DaT
Yes.
Network in chat is answering the buffs question. You could technically go to our channel and donate if that was something your heart really desired. So just wanted to warn you, Jim.
Sure. Sure.
It's a warning for all of us.
That is a warning for everyone, because donations do not always work out for the players or the GM. It's all chaos all the time.
Nope.
So, comments over for the moment. We're back in our game. You have just been told by a very confused-looking HEI administrator that your job is to go to the Serota Forest and slay a dragon. What do you do?
I'm sorry, you said dragon.
Look, I really wouldn't worry. Dragons were driven out of Drakeridge decades ago. However, it's part of our charter with the royal government of Thaspir. It indicates that HEI is required to respond to any reports of dragon activity. This is almost certainly a prank or a report for somebody who just ate the wrong kind of mushroom. I can guarantee you that if there was the real chance there was a threat of a dragon, we wouldn't be sending such inexperienced licensees. Just look, poke around in the forest for a bit. We'll fill out the paperwork that says we did our job. It's going to be fine, I'm sure.
So you're saying that we're just doing busy work then?
In a way, but it's very important busy work that allows us to maintain our contract with the city. So you see, think of it not so much as busy work as an investigation. Something I believe you're quite a specialist at, yes?
I am, yes, I'm a detective. This is my badge. I just feel like there would be a better use for our time, right? We're very advanced adventurers, I'd say. Okay,
me old.
Wouldn't. Looking at your personnel files, I would say that this kind of work is exactly what you're suited for.
all right. Well, I guess we'll do it, and we'll do it in style, right, everyone?
And you see a little gray boy. He raises his hand.
What?
Yes. Hello, sir. My name's Harry Plopper, and if I know how to speak to snakes, will that help me speak to dragons?
Who let this weird child in here? He's like flipping through more papers. Like, I can't find your file. And who was your recruiting officer? What is happening? You're a child. Why are you here?
Oh, I'm just looking for a way to die for real this time. So,
you know, I have a lot of other things to do. So, do you understand the nature of your assignment?
Yes.
He's like backing up towards the door at this point.
Yes, go check that there's not a dragon in the Serota Forest. Come back, get paid. Done.
If there does happen to be a dragon, though, do we kill it, I assume?
I don't think you'll really need to worry about what to do next if you see a dragon. If you see an actual dragon, I'm sure it'll work itself out.
But is there more pay if we do kill a dragon?
Oh, sure. If you actually kill a dragon, I'm sure you'll be well compensated if you actually find a real... And he's backing out. He's like got the door open. He's just like, sure. Yeah, we'll pay you a lot, I'm sure. Closes the door behind him.
Well, that guy was a real charmer.
Yes, so many people deny our abilities. Understandable.
Well,
so this little one, we're taking him with us.
I don't know. Something seems quite wrong with him. Every time I look at him, I don't know. Doesn't seem right. You said something about being dead?
Oh, yes. I've died 47 times.
What?
Really?
Usually I have a real problem with your type, but I guess if you're helpful and you could take out a dragon, then why not, right?
Yeah, well, I don't really have the choice of coming back. Some necromancer keeps bringing me back to life.
Where's the necromancer?
I can't ever find him. His name's Moldavort, though, and I really just need to get better and better, and then take him out, and then die so that I can stay dead.
I want to walk over and poke Harry Plopper on the forehead.
And you see when you come in to poke him, he's got this weird scar. It's shaped like a cloud.
It's like a cloud, and you claim to be dead, yes?
Oh, yes, very dead.
Interesting. Can I have a skin sample?
Oh, yes, here you go.
And he pulls off a bit of his skin and hands it to the lizard man.
Disgusting.
All right.
Put that in my pouch for later examinations.
Dead or not, we should move forward so that we can be paid, yes?
Yes, I like getting paid.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And Fanray will make for the door, not looking at whatever information was left.
Okay, there is indeed a folder of information that Fanray turns her nose up at and begins leaving the room.
I will grab that folder.
Okay. You see that it has a small map of the Serota Forest. There is an X marked where the sighting is reported to have taken place. And so you at least know where you need to go. The forest itself is maybe 2 miles outside the city limits, so it won't take you a horribly long time to get there. And provided that there aren't any actual threats, you should be done with this by lunchtime.
Oh. So I'll go after Jamie. What's your character's name again?
Fanray.
I'll go after her and be like, darling Fanray, do you know where you're going?
To the Serota Forest, yes.
Oh, yes, but we have a more specific spot that's right in these folders here.
And I'm sure you'll tell me where it is as we head to the forest.
Oh, was that your plan? That is quite clever. You're just thinking right ahead.
Yes.
All right. Oh, should we get everyone else? Where'd they go?
I guess.
Everyone?
Yeah.
This way.
It's to the right of you. That's right.
Yes. Well, I am quite short. I missed you somehow. I just saw legs.
I am like a giant pillar. My apologies.
Yes.
And you just see behind you a little ways, it's just this shambling little boy. He's walking a little slower than the rest of you, but he's making his way up ever so cautiously.
Oh, yes, well, I'm coming.
Are you always this slow, and do you always make that dragging sound with your feet when you walk?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, well, that's something to keep in mind if we want to be quiet.
Yep.
Yes. Well.
Onward, then, yes?
Onward to the forest. Following the map left for you by your HEI administrator, you begin your journey out of the city and toward the forest. You arrive not too deep in at a tall stone column. This menhir is a place well known by those who brave its depths, brave the depths of the Serota Forest. This stone column, with its ancient purpose unknown, has been the site of quite a few mysterious sightings and events of late. And in fact, several of you have in the past had adventures that took you to this very spot. However, for the moment, this is where you were instructed to be, but you don't see any sign of any dragon or any other creature for that matter. So what do you do?
Is that a leg or a column? Oh, I think it's a column.
I'd like to, can I see if anyone's been here recently?
Sure, make a survival check.
All right. Let's see which roll. Which way? Oh, all right. 18 on the dice plus 8 is a 26.
Sure. You do see that over the past few weeks, there has been a lot of activity in this area of the wood. Some of it, you can recall, is activity from people from HEI. In fact, near this stone column, sort of lying on the ground, you see a 20-foot ladder that is just like slowly being subsumed by the forest for some reason. And as you're inspecting this, there is suddenly a cloud of swirling purple mist that explodes from the top of the menhir. It is accompanied by a great roar that shakes the leaves of the trees around you. And as you're standing there watching, stunned, wondering if perhaps indeed a dragon has come for you, the swirling cloud of purple smoke dissipates. Standing atop the ancient stone column is what is technically a dragon, but it's about the size of a house cat. And it has shimmering green and blue scales and butterfly wings.
Oh.
And as you're wondering what exactly you're supposed to do with this thing, it speaks. Are you like the heroes that I ordered?
Are you the dragon that we're supposed to be searching for?
Well, like, yeah, definitely. I think, right? Like, you are from HEI, correct?
Yes, we are from HEI.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm really glad to meet you. My name is Bill, and I would like to hire your services because I have, like, a problem that I need you to handle.
Is it a dragon problem? Is that no offense, I think?
Well, it's like a dragon problem in the sense that I am a dragon and I have a problem.
Right. Right. Yes. Well, to be entirely honest, we thought we were going to come to slay a dragon.
Well, like, sort of. Kind of, but like not for real. Do you understand? Like,
no.
Yes, but also no.
No. Does anyone else? I don't understand.
No, it's fine. Let me explain. So here's the deal. There are kobolds, and they are infesting my cave because I kind of tricked them into thinking that I was a baby, like, true dragon, because it was, like, super funny, but they totally believed it, and they worship me now, and they will not, like, go.
Oh.
Do you understand?
Does what is it that you are if you're not a baby dragon? Do any of you know?
Oh, no. I am like a full-grown fairy dragon. Like, I will not get bigger than this, which is going to be a problem because at some point the kobolds will definitely notice. And I think they will be maybe violently inclined to seek retribution on like this.
Oh.
Sure. So you need us to take care of the kobolds because you lied to them.
Okay, but like, I don't want you to hurt them. Because here's the thing. We've been like kind of chill, and I think we've come a long way with the kobolds, and they like respect me. So I don't want them near me anymore, but I want them to go. I just need my space. Here's the plan. What I want you to do is come to my cave, and like I will challenge you, and then you will like slay me, and they'll be like super upset, and they will go, and their spirits will be broken, but not their bodies. You understand? Spirits broken, not their bodies. Also, do not break my body, but like pretend to. Do you understand?
What keeps them from attacking us after we have fake killed you then?
Well, like, I'm totally going to be like, I challenge these heroes, stay back, my minions, and they will, like, listen to me. Because, again, they totally worship me. They think I'm, like, a god or something, I think. And so you will pretend to kill me, and they will be like, oh, no, they killed the mightiest dragon that we've ever, like, come into contact with. We have to run away.
Arts of deception, always entertaining.
Definitely.
Right. And when they think you're dead and they come back thinking you're a martyr and they make an altar in your cave to then worship you after you've died, you'll take care of that because we will have done our job.
I don't think you quite understand. Like, kobolds, look, these guys are chill, but they are not brave at like all. They will absolutely run away. I have confidence that there is no way this plan could possibly go wrong. I have thought about it for like an hour, okay?
Well, here's my question. If we pretend slay you, can we also go back to town and tell them that we slayed a dragon?
Like, I mean, that would be, like, on you. That's your karma if you want to, like, take that deceit on yourself. I will say from experience, lying can go wrong. So, like, watch out. Kobolds could be living in your house for months and like bringing you things and never leaving you alone and asking you thousands of questions just because you thought it would be like chill and funny to pretend that you were like a big time dragon.
Yeah, that's a real specific consequence.
I think it makes sense.
Yes. I would say I'm fine with it.
That is awesome. And I think that our business arrangement is going to go splendidly. So here's the deal. After you've agreed to help, Bill flutters his wings with joy and begins sketching out a little map of the forest. He flutters down to the ground, begins sketching a map of the forest with his claws. He's like, okay, so here's the deal. To get to my home, you have to travel like deep in the forest. First thing you're going to want to do is stop by this brook where there is a raspberry patch. Absolutely killer berries. I don't recommend the water here though. You're going to want to travel east another 2 miles to get to this little spring that is so much better. Once you've done that, you're going to come back here. You're going to head north 4 miles. Probably spend some time in the lily bloom grove. It is really good for the spirit, and I find that it just refreshes the mind. At that point, I want you to go south 3 more miles. Rest, and then go west for another mile. Take 10 to 15 minutes for yourself. Really breathe and just be in that moment. And at that point, you're going to see some rocks and blue ferns, and that is where my cave is. I'm going to go there now. Meet me there tonight, and we'll do this thing, okay?
Sure. So are all of those stops a requirement for the job?
I'm sorry, what was that?
All of those stops, the stops you said, the raspberries, are they a requirement?
That's that's for your benefit. Those berries, they're going to be good for another 2 weeks tops. And then, you missed out.
Sure.
So at that point, Bill flutters up to the top of the menhir. He waves to all of you. And he's like, I will see you tonight. Again, please do not for real kill me or the little dudes who they're just trying their best, right? And then he begins fluttering off through the forest, leaving you alone. What do you do?
That was not the thing I expected out of this.
No, very different from what I was thinking as well.
We didn't discuss a payment plan.
Well, as long as he pays HEI and we're the ones they've hired, they owe us.
Oh, okay, good.
Some little hairy, yes?
Oh, yes. Did anyone else see that dragon?
Oh, yeah, we just had a whole conversation with him. Harry, what were you doing?
Oh, I was flabbergasted at the sight of it. I stood there like this the whole time.
Right, you're going to be an enormous help, I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Would anyone like to go see what this raspberry bush is all about?
Yes.
I suppose so.
Anybody who would can make a nature and or survival check.
I will.
Great on both of those.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's a 12.
Good old Harry Plopper got an 18 for nature.
Oh.
I also got a 12.
12. Harry, you're realizing, especially with the speed that you move at, if they take all this time to basically go all these the dragon literally has you move and then move north and then come most of the way back. You realize that you could probably find a much faster route to where you're going if you wanted to, unless you want to see all the sights of the forest, and then you're more than welcome to do that. It just seems like he's asking you to take a lot of unnecessary stops that don't make a lot of sense to you.
Well, it seems like from knowing, I'm not sure how I know, based upon my past lives, but it seems like he's giving us a circuitous route back to where he is.
I thought that might be the case. Well, what do you all want to do? Do you want to eat some raspberries and take a very long walk?
Well, we're not supposed to kill him, right?
Right.
I think the important thing is how do we make it look like we are killing him without actually killing him?
I agree.
Well, raspberries, though. Smear that upon him when we're beating him senseless. Could try to make it pretend like there's blood upon him. Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Dragon's blood is red, right?
Arcana is a good check for those who want to know more about fairy dragons.
Dragon's blood.
I assume kobolds aren't smart enough.
Enough dragon blood knowledge with 7.
Harry Plopper got a 21.
Whoa, Harry
Wow.
Plopper is the best character in the group. Turns out
Jim,
he's
how
actually the
dare
best.
you?
Turns out the dice aren't lying. You know that fairy dragons are actually fey creatures. He was not telling a lie. He will definitely not get much larger than he is currently. And you would say that his blood, it would, if he were to bleed, it would be red. I will also tell you, with a 21, I will give you, do you want to know... Actually, there aren't weaknesses. Oh, do you want to know about immunities, or do you want to know about one of its abilities? I'll give you one more piece of information.
Abilities, please.
Abilities. It casts spells. A limited selection of mostly illusory type spells.
Okay.
So, that fairy dragon is a fey creature. Its blood is red.
Good.
It's a spellcaster. I'm sure I've read about it in one of my books, but I can't remember which one. So, yeah, it could. Red would be good.
Good. Raspberries are red, so.
Best lead we have. You're quite the intelligent little one, aren't you?
Oh, yes. I would hope so.
All right,
That's helpful.
to the raspberries.
Okay.
Yes.
Indeed.
You decide that you're going to make a day of it, and you follow the fairy dragon's directions. Bill was not lying when he tells you that to the north there are raspberries. You do find that near a small babbling brook is a massive patch of very large, plump, red raspberries.
All right. Do these look like normal raspberries, or do they appear to have any type of special quality?
Nature checks for determining that would be acceptable.
15.
19.
Aside from just being outstanding quality, they appear to be normal red raspberries.
25.
And Hawk confirms that these are just really good raspberries.
Nice. I picked some.
All right.
A lot.
You have them.
Same.
We'll grab handfuls of them.
Sure.
Ouch.
Well, at least we know we won't go hungry.
I can't remember if raspberries are good for dogs or not.
Oh.
Because I have a dog. He's been here the whole time.
The whole time.
Jax is just like,
He's just like, why's no one talking to me? Sorry, boy. Forgot about you.
So you
Alright,
all
then
gather
we'll
some
also-
raspberries.
Yes.
And what do? What's next?
What was the next direction? It was,
so
there was,
there's better water 2 miles away.
yes,
And after that, I think was the lily field.
right. And then another 3 miles after that, right?
Yes.
All
And then
right.
we look for rocks
Wait.
and blue ferns.
Well, I think the question at this point is, do we still want to take this longer route? Is there anything else we need from these locations?
Well, perhaps we don't know that we would need things until we get there and see them.
Yes, that is a point.
I would agree with such a thing. Who knows what we could find within the water, and it could come in with our deception when we're trying to play the minds of the kobolds. Yes. Very good call, little Harry Plopper. I rather like this little undead boy.
Don't like that undead part, but all right.
Well, if it helps, it wasn't by choice, so, you know.
It doesn't.
Right.
So we're going to the brook, yes?
Okay.
Yes.
So you decide that you are going to follow Bill's advice and take his little triptych around the Serota Forest. You get to the brook. The water is cool and crisp and clear, and it tastes delicious. But you don't notice really anything else special about the area. You head to the grove that he spoke of, and the flowers are in full bloom, and they're beautiful, and it's peaceful, and it's such a sight to behold. And it actually helps a little bit. It helps a little bit because the smell that is wafting off of Harry Plopper is sort of dampened in the grove. Like the smell of the flowers actually helps overpower that, and you probably gather some of the branches and sort of like make him carry them along so that you don't have to. The smell of decay doesn't follow you.
Stick a few in his shirt as well too as he's walking by.
You do all of the things that Bill asked you to do, and it does feel good. And he's definitely pointed out some really excellent places to like spend a day in the forest, but none of it seems to be particularly helpful. And then finally, as you complete his little triptych, you do indeed see rocks ahead that are covered up by blue-leaved ferns. What do you do?
I think this is the spot.
Yes. Can I examine the blue ferns?
Yes.
Sure. So you've gotten to this cave, and it is quite a wonderful space. It actually has a lot in common with some of the other places that Bill sent you to. You're getting sort of a vibe from this dragon, like this fairy dragon. Like he really just deeply appreciates natural beauty, and the location that he's chosen to make his own is no exception. It is located near another natural spring. The rocks are covered in soft emerald moss, and vibrant flowers grow on swaying vines that hang from every tree. The cave entrance that you can barely see, really only notice it out of hand because you know it was here and it was sort of pointed out to you on the little map that Bill drew. Does indeed have these large blue-leaved ferns, and as you're approaching them, you actually can hear sounds coming forth. It sounds like a horrible, chaotic jumble of voices. You loosely identify something that you would guess would have to be called music, coupled with laughter and sharp yipping sounds coming from inside. So you know that like there's definitely this is an occupied cave. But you get up to the ferns. I mean, all the noise that's coming from inside seems to have everybody distracted. You get up to the ferns and you wanted to inspect them. So nature or perception will do it for me.
18.
Rolling great. 7. They are blue.
Oh,
Blue leaf
They're the
fern.
bluest ferns I've ever
19.
seen.
I also got 7.
Sorry, Hawk, what was that?
19.
19. You actually know that these particular ferns are somewhat of an invasive species, but not dangerous to the area. The reason they are here is that, or the reason they're not from here is because they are not native to this plane of existence. It is very likely that you are close to a place where the veil between the material plane and the first world has grown exceptionally thin, which, now that you're thinking of it, would account for the fact that Bill is here at all. They are actually from the first world, and they tend to inhabit areas where that barrier has grown quite tenuous.
Fanray will take out one of her daggers and definitely take a little sampling, especially with a root of this fern.
Sure. Easily done. What about the rest of you?
Hawk is going to take the raspberries and try to mash them up so that they're already in this kind of paste for us.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of empties out one of his pouches that he can kind of store some of this paste in hopes of working it into the battle.
Okay, so you have this sort of thick red paste. You can see that it's not super convincing as fake blood, but in a pinch, it'll do you.
If I mix in a little brown dirt just to get it nice and dark, maybe.
If you're gonna try to really get fancy with it, you can make a craft check.
Oh, all right. Here we go. That's a thing I kind of know how to do. 14.
14. Okay, yeah. I mean, you get you sort of thin it out with some water. You darken it a bit. You start picking out a lot of the pulp and the seeds, and leaving yourself more of a liquid. And yeah, you get a little bit more of a convincing fake blood.
Nice.
You made a coulis. Quite nice.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Jim Jam, Harry
Yes.
Plopper, being undead and all,
Being undead.
has dark vision.
Does he?
Yeah, does that help me when I look into said cave from so far away?
Do you want to get all up in the entrance of the cave and start poking around in there?
He's a curious little one.
Sure. Looking into the cave, you can see that the sounds are coming from much deeper within, and it's a very natural area. So you can see, like, you can't see very deep into it because it's not just a straight tunnel. It's not a carved cave. It twists and turns. But what you can immediately see is that you won't actually need your dark vision because there is the glow of flickering firelight from deeper within. So you know that whatever little festival they're holding in there, which you can still hear, they have lit it up.
Jim Jam, what language is it that they're speaking?
Do you know Draconic?
It is the serpent tongue that I have prepared.
Reptilian, yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Cool. You hear, make a perception check then. No, this is fine. This is fine, Ben. I'm glad.
That's a 18.
18. Okay. You catch little snippets. Again, most of the sound is drowned out by this horrible cacophony of music coming from within, but you do catch a lot. Some of the singing that comes through appears to be songs about the mighty Bill. You hear Bill a lot. You get the sense that just about everything that you can pick out is about Bill.
Well, everyone, the songs are about Bill. If you were curious, and you won't need dark vision or anything like that. There's torches in there.
Oh,
Well,
that's good.
Nice.
Should we have some kind of plan before we go in outside of raspberries and songs, I guess?
Oh, well, I've actually come up with an idea. I used to, when I was a boy, I would create dancing lights, and then I would fling them and say, "Oh yes, there's a magic missile at you, and there's another one, and there's another." So I think I could do that.
Spotlights.
All right.
Well, the point is to deceive them, right? And try to intimidate them into thinking what we want them to believe.
Right.
Why?
Hmm.
I mean, if
I
he's
could
projecting...
definitely...
Go.
I was just going to say I can definitely help with the deception and intimidation portion of it, most definitely. When it comes to looking like you've harmed him, I can help with the deception.
I also happen to be able to use dancing lights. I was thinking of using them more to avert their gaze when we don't need them to be looking certain ways.
I also have just light. It doesn't dance, but it's light.
I have the ability to look at lights. I can't create it.
I also could go in there and I could make darkness just cover up in the entirety of Bill, and then it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't be able to see.
Neither would we.
I think the whole point is that they need to see this happen for them to believe it.
Oh, but I was suggesting that we put the darkness over there. Someone runs in, puts raspberry all over his body, and then the darkness ends.
There's an idea. I mean, if he's projecting himself to be larger than he is, we definitely want to make sure. I mean, I don't know. You magicians, how does that work? Is he going to be towards the center? Should we aim towards the outside a little bit more? Or is that just a shot in the dark as well?
Well, especially if it's more of an illusion, it quite depends.
Well, maybe at this point we should just go in and wing it.
I agree with the halfling.
All right.
It works for countless adventurers.
I think Hawk's actually going to pull out a couple of arrows that he's going to make sure sit in a very particular spot in the quiver, and he's going to just pre-coat them with that raspberry. Because as fast as he fires, there's at least evidence.
Right. Sure. Does anybody else want to make any other preparations before you head into the cave?
Harry doesn't have very many earthly goods. So, no.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hawk, do you happen to have more of that raspberry concoction?
Yeah, I mean, I grabbed a bunch. Here, it's in this pouch. Want some?
And Fanray will put some on one side of her dagger and rapier.
Sure. You prep your blade. Mm-hmm. So Hawk's got a prepped weapon. Fanray's got a prepped weapon. It sounds like Harry Plopper doesn't have anything to prep. Zima seems ready to go. What about Rias? Are you ready to head in there? Or anything else you wanted to do?
No, Rias is fine. Especially if we're going to wing it. That's okay.
It is a tried and true tradition amongst your kind.
Yes.
The only question I have is, do you intend on sort of sneaking up into this, or are you just going to burst in?
Well, it seems like we should make quite a big show of this, right? So maybe we burst in and make it real nice and theatrical.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay. So that's exactly what you do. You burst into the cave, and you see about a dozen kobolds all around a fire, eagerly tearing into bits of rancid-smelling food. Each kobold is wearing a ridiculous shoulder harness with mock butterfly wings made of scrap cloth and sticks. At the head of this feast sits Bill on a pedestal, surrounded by a pile of trinkets, looking kind of miserable. The feast stops when you enter, and Bill is the first to react, rising up into the air. Oh no, intruders, how dare you come into my house? I am the mighty blood crusher spine shaker, and I am going to absolutely destroy you. You see that some of the kobolds start moving towards spears and wicker shields nearby, but Bill snaps something to them in a language that only Harry Plopper seems to recognize. But then immediately in common, he says, I've told my servants that I will devour you myself for your crimes. So on guard, rapscallions. And at that point, we will take a moment to see what's up in the chat.
Hey!
How are y'all doing in the chat? We're going to take just a minute or two to chat with you guys.
There's lots of PaizoCon 2020 in the chat.
Yeah,
PaizoCon 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some awesome things being given away in chat, so please keep your eyes open for all of that. PFred0 said, if good damage is in play, does it hurt him? Yeah, it does. It hurts really bad.
Good to know.
Invader Joe says, I say if Bill dies, we riot. You know what? I think I'm on Invader Joe's side here.
Yeah.
It's Lucas Martinez says Harry Plopper is a sinker in his cribbish team.
Master of the Game RPG says special raspberries taste like schnozberries.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Adam Texile, Wild Zone 1980, and Babcom. They are new followers of the DaT Network.
Awesome.
Though we are streaming here today for PaizoCon 2020, we do have our own Twitch channel where we stream all the time. This show actually is going to stream again on Friday night on twitch.tv/the DaT Network. So if you want to see us do more crazy stuff, head over there and give us a follow. We deeply appreciate it.
Yeah. We also had Scott Denuzzo say, Ben has finally defeated Jim Jam. They both want Ben's character dead.
He's defeated me so many times. I don't know why we're saying finally.
Grimando gave me a nice compliment. They said, I would take Ben and his character into my group any day.
You can have them. Eric Mona coming in. Whoa! Thanks for taking part this year, Dragons and Things. Love you guys.
Hey, we are happy to be here. Thanks so much for not only inviting us, but just for making a space online where we can get together and do this.
This is awesome. Positive fam, DaT fam, best fam.
Oh, it's Lucas Martinez saying, I want to do fan art of one of these dumb kobolds in makeshift fairy wings.
Hey, no one is stopping you. Be the change you want to be, it's Lucas Martinez.
Oh, boy.
Well, then also Crossbear coming in. Ben sounds less like Harry Potter and more like Dobby. And you know what that means? Hashtag knife to the chest.
Ooh.
Yeah, that moment, though.
Maybe.
Slashing or piercing, because one of them is way more.
It is time to get back into our adventure because we have a mock fight to fight. We're going to play this in encounter mode, but when you make attack rolls, you'll be using deception to attack Bill. And on a success, you'll deal damage to him. On a failure, however, you will raise the suspicion of the surrounding kobolds. And the kobolds, they'll listen to Bill so much, but if they really feel like something's not on the up and up, they might start to interfere with the fight and cause problems for you. If, however, you feel like the kobolds are getting a little too rowdy, you can always make an intimidation check to try to reduce their willingness to step in. The more rowdy the kobolds are, the more they're going to interfere. So you don't want to let them get too out of hand before you can kill Bill. But with all of that, why don't we roll initiative? And instead of using perception, we're all going to use deception or intimidation as our skill for the moment.
Right.
Oh, great, Jim Jam. Because I've really built a character that's good at deception and intimidation.
Thanks, Jimbo.
I decided to do that specifically for you, my friend.
I still did great.
Wow.
Well, 21 for Rias.
Rias is on a 21.
27 for Fan Ray.
27?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fan Ray was ready for this. She was born to do this.
12 for Zema.
12 for Zema?
Yeah.
That's a 13 for Hawk.
13 for Hawk.
Jim Jam, that's an 18 on the die, so an
Ooh.
18.
18. Roll HP. Mr. Plopper himself. Well, Fan Ray, you are the first to react. You're the quickest. You can see that the kobolds currently do seem a little rowdy, and you're not so certain that they're just going to sit back and do nothing right now. However, you know that your main objective is to look like you're killing Bill. So what do you choose to do?
Fan Ray is actually going to cast Dancing Lights.
Okay.
Which is 2 actions, I believe. And she is going to set them up like behind her, directly up her spine as they appear. So she is projecting this enormous shadow in this cave. And she takes her dagger in one hand, her rapier in the other, prepped with the raspberries, and holds them to her sides and says, You mighty blood crusher spine shaker, we will take you down! And moves forward to hopefully next time attack Bill.
Sure. Well, if the spell's 2 actions and then drawing your weapons is another action,
I had
that'll
them
put you.
out.
What was that?
I had them out when I entered.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you would take that because you were
so then
preparing them. That's
forward.
fine. So you basically just charge right up to old Bill. I will have the kobolds make a will save to see if they believe if they believe your lights, or if they recognize them for what they are. Let's see. That is a failure. So I will go ahead, and they start to they're like, oh, they're starting to get really frightened. They don't look nearly as ready to step in, thanks to your spell. And after that, it is actually Bill's turn. He reacts, and he kind of looks at you as you're walking up to him, and he kind of winks at you, and then he inhales sharply, and this cloud of purple mist surrounds you. And I need you to make a fortitude save.
Fortitude.
Bill's gonna kill you.
Yeah, maybe. Oof, that is a total of 8.
And 8 is a critical failure. A critical failure. And wow, this is awesome. You are stupefied 2, and you are slowed 1.
Hey.
Because you critically failed, it's for a total of 1 minute. But you feel amazing, man.
Fanray and Harry Plopper are actually moving at the same speed now.
and as you're shaking away very slowly, this glittering mist that as it dissipates around you, Bill is now looking at you and he looks at the rest of you. He's like, sorry. And it is Rias's turn.
Okay, so you said that the kobolds are kind of being somewhat chill right now, or are they still riled up a little bit?
They don't look like they're completely out of it right now, but they look a little less brave thanks to Fanray's success.
Okay, perfect. I would like to I'm going to look at Fenray and at Bill as well too, and I hold out 2 of my fingers, and this blue light starts shimmering on 2 of them, and it shoots and hits both of them for a forbidding ward.
Forbidding ward.
Yes, forbidding ward. So forbidding ward, allowing Fenray to take a +1 status bonus to armor class and saving throws against the enemy's attacks, to make it look like I'm trying to buff Fenray up.
Sure.
To the audience. And then I want to start making my way, start kind of walking in between Fenray and the kobolds as well.
Sure. So you cast your spell, and then you you sort of put yourself between the kobolds and Fanray. And then Harry Plopper, what do you do?
So Harry Plopper will go, Patrono expectus, and he will shoot his dancing lights at this big old dragon and kind of whirl them around and make them look like magic missiles.
Sure. I will go ahead and have the kobolds, actually, since you're using an illusory spell, I will have the kobolds make a will save to see if they recognize these as fake or not.
Cool.
And that is an 18 against your spell DC.
Yeah, I want you to know, Jim Jam, that undead are not very smart. And so making an undead wizard was a horrible choice.
Who would have thought that this would be horrible? Who could have predicted?
You pass.
Okay. You see a couple of you actually can hear in a couple of the kobolds' voices some disbelief, and one of them it's like, that spell is nothing but a trick. This wizard's an idiot. And the kobolds are starting to get a little bit more. They're like, wait, if these guys are idiots, we need to help Bill. And they look like they're a little more rowdy again. They're going to get up in the business.
Okay.
That was a 2-action spell, I believe. So,
Yes, it was.
or no, you are slowed 1 permanently forever, so that was all you can do.
Third one.
So that takes us to Hawk's turn.
All right. So Hawk is within 100 feet, right?
Yes, you are within 100 feet.
Great. Now, if I use my hunter's aim to give myself a +2, does that give me a +2 to my deception as well?
No.
What?
It doesn't.
All right. What if I scream like a madman and have my dogs start barking to make them look at me while the arrow flies towards the thing?
So you want to make a distraction. That would be a deception to try to set up a distraction. If you succeed on that, then I will give you a slight bonus to anything that you manage to do to Bill.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use one action to tell Ajax to speak so that the dog starts barking.
Okay.
And then... then I'm going to start being like...
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and make an intimidation check, I guess, is probably what you want to go for. You want to scare me?
Oh, that was... All right, we're trading these out. Because that is a 10.
No.
We're so...
They don't seem to... They seem so scatterbrained at this point that they're not really focusing on you the way you hoped they would.
Right. Fair.
So you still have one action left.
Well, I can shoot 2 arrows with one action, and that might be distracting as well.
Make a deception check to see if you can avoid actually killing Bill for real.
Yeah. Well, this
When
is
you
a
do this.
+0, so let's see. Hey, a 17!
Oh.
17. And that's +0.
Yeah.
That is a... Sorry, where did it all go? That is a success. So now, instead of rolling your normal damage, roll 1d6 plus and add your charisma modifier, and tell me what the total is.
So add 0. All right. Hey, but it's a 5.
Okay. So
Right.
this, you don't pull back all the way on your bow, and the arrow just sort of weak, like it just sort of, and it strikes Bill, and he's like, "Oh, ow! Oh, I have been struck! Oh, my minions! Don't worry, I will totally defeat them though." And some of the raspberry is dripping down his shoulder now, and it looks surprisingly like blood. I forgot to give you a +1 bonus because of the raspberry, so that's actually 6 damage that you've done to Bill.
All right. Now,
the only thing that I actually want to point out, in case it matters to you, and I don't know that it does, but Knight of the Night Lily was saying no perform checks, and I actually forgot to explain you can make performance checks instead of deception or intimidation if you would like. So if you have performance, you can use that as a skill.
That's good because I have 0 in everything.
Nice.
Can I use intimidation when I attack?
Just out of curiosity, sorry. You made an intimidation check. You commanded
in
the
order
dog
to deceive them. Yeah.
But you have used 3 actions. In the future, though, no, you would not be able to use intimidation to attack. That's a deception thing.
But remember, I shoot twice on one.
Is that only against hunted prey?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. Oh, well, still did something.
So I guess we'll just have to move on to Zima.
Okay, so first of all, Rias, did you cast where'd it go? Forbidding Ward on, you cast it on Fenray, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to cast Forbidding Ward on Bill. And what I want to do is go over and say to the kobolds as well. I'm going to burn him with this light that I will shoot right at him right now. Nobody come any closer. And then I want to cast Forbidding Ward on him.
Okay. So I would say 2 actions for the spell, and then I guess you're probably going to want an intimidation check to try to see if you can calm them kobolds down.
Okay.
So go ahead and make that intimidation check. The spell will go off regardless because it's you know how to do that.
Okay. I got a 17.
17 on the intimidation. That is success. You can see that they were like, some of them were like picking up rocks, and a couple of them, not all of them, but a couple of them like drop the rocks and start backing away like, oh, they do know powerful magic.
Okay.
Nice work.
Nice.
It is now the kobolds' actions. You can see that a couple of the braver ones, one of them in particular, steps forward and does decide he's going to step in to help Bill no matter what. And he chucks a rock. And he chucks a rock right at Hawk, since Hawk is the one who actually struck Bill with a terrible biting arrow. And so this is a total against your armor class of 13, which I don't think is going to hit you.
Nope.
No. So you see this rock come whipping past your head, and the kobold is like shaking his little fist at you, but he misses, luckily.
I growl at him.
And that is the end of round 1. We are at the top of round 2. It is Fanray's turn. What do you do?
Well, I'm feeling great. I don't know how this battle's actually going, but I feel awesome. So I think the best use of my turn, Fanray takes her dagger in her right hand and like pretends to, she's going to use Twin Feint. She goes to stab Bill like in the underbelly and then swing her rapier up around to like his rib cage.
Sure.
If that's at all possible.
It is. It's all depending on your perception or deception or performance check, whichever you like better.
Deception, please. I'm a rogue.
Okie dokie.
That is a 17.
17 is a success. Deal 1d6 plus your charisma modifier in damage.
Well,
Plus the blood?
Plus 1 for
Plus
the fake blood.
that's 3 points total.
Okay. You draw the dagger across his belly very lightly, but it leaves that red streak, and Bill is like, like that totally hurt. Oh, ow.
And then would I make a
great.
second deception for the rapier?
Yes. Just out of curiosity, just because you did critically fail, you are stupefied. Just so you know, stupefied does affect your charisma-based checks. So you are taking that -2 penalty on deception checks.
Oh, right. So that would have been a 15 on the attack.
15 is a failure, but I've already written down the damage, and we've already, that was my bad for not bringing it up in the first place. So we'll let that one stand. But on this next one, make sure you apply that -2 penalty because you are stupefied too.
Okay. Bill is automatically flat-footed against this attack.
Okay.
And I do take a -5. Oh, boy. Which is a 14.
It's not going to do it. That is a failure. You notice that you actually strike Bill, but you're moving a little bit too slowly now, and you just sort of like feebly tap him. And this does seem to sort of embolden some of the other kobolds. And Harry Plopper, you hear them say, "Look, they're getting scared. We must press and help." Not good.
I don't think that they're believing us. So
Is Twin Feint 1 action?
It is 2. And that's all I can do.
Okay, so since you're slowed, that is actually all you can do, but a semi-successful turn. Now it is Bill's turn, and he sort of like puffs up a little bit, and instead of breathing, he points at you, Hawk, and says, fear my, like, totally mighty magics. And he starts, like, waving his little paws around, and your bow becomes incredibly greasy. And I need you to make a reflex save. Or sorry, an acrobatics check or reflex save, whichever you like better.
All right, we're going to reflex it. 21.
21. You manage to like this grease, like you just shake the bow real fast. It all just sort of drips off, and you manage to resist the effects of that particular spell, whatever it was that he was trying to do. But luckily, it will not affect you. And then for his last trick, Bill will sort of like bite at Fanray ever so gently, and he is going to make a deception check. That would be a 14 against your, which is a failure. So unfortunately, he like feebly bites at you, but he just sort of like he almost seems like scared to do it, and he sort of gently places his teeth near your skin. And some of the other kobolds now, Harry Plopper, you can hear them like confused, and they're like, what's happening? And they're starting to get more and more angry. And you can see Bill is like looking around frantically like, oh, I don't think it's working, guys. But that is all he can do. And it is Rias's turn next.
Rias is going to lift just his hand, and his eyes, that golden brown color, they slowly start to pulsate. And he just looks at Bill, and I'm going to cast command and say, bow down to us.
Okay. That is going to be a
will save,
and that is only an 8, which I don't think is going to do it.
Actually, that would be a critical failure, Jim.
Oh, no.
So that means Bill would have to use all 3 of his actions on his round to bow down to us.
Whoa, that is certainly going to cause some controversy in the kobold community. Excellent actions. You still got one left, I believe.
Yes, I will do that. That's a 2-action thing. And then I just want to use the other one to turn back around and just stare right at the kobolds. Just look at them menacingly.
Okay. You look at them menacingly. After that, it is Harry Plopper's turn. What do we got, bud?
So Harry will look at the kobold that threw the stone at Hawk.
He'll say, oh, yes, well, all of you kobolds just, stay out of it.
And
so intimidating.
And then
I'm scared.
Then he'll go,
fear my Drake man root,
and he'll cast Tanglefoot on the kobold. So I'm doing a full spell.
Yeah.
On the kobold.
On the kobold. Is that a reflex save or a spell attack?
I have to attack.
Okay.
It's a spell attack, and that would be an 11.
An 11 is unsuccessful.
Mm-hmm.
You try to shoot this spell, and you miss. And the kobolds are looking at it and looking at you, and you can see the chattering gets louder. One of them actually even goes over and grabs a spear and is thumping it on the ground. He's like, "We kill intruders!"
And that's it. That's all he's got.
That's all Harry Plopper, the amazing boy wizard, has. Hawk, you can see that things are getting out of hand. Can you save the day?
Maybe. That's what I got there. Maybe. All right. I think I am going to hunt prey.
Ah.
You see what I did there? That's an action.
It is. There's one.
So now when I take Hunter's Aim on the strike, I get a +2 circumstance bonus.
Yes.
Would that give me that +2?
You're always bonus hunting.
I'm aiming.
Yes, I will allow that to. You still have to use deception, but you can use all of your bonuses Because
So he has a-
technically you are using your aim to not kill something as well as you can.
So, +2.
Okay.
Hey, an 18.
An 18 will do it.
Yeah. All right, so I roll that d6. That's one of those ones on the dice.
Oh.
But I
Luckily,
had
you got
the
that bonus
raspberries.
damage.
Yeah, that raspberry damage is going to be great.
What's your total?
That's 2. Just 2.
2 points of damage. Nice.
Right? Because I can't add. I don't have any deception.
I got you. It's all good,
So I
man.
rolled the 1.
Oh,
I understand.
boy.
I understand entirely. Do you have any other things? Any other hard-hitting things you got for me?
Hunter's aim takes 2 actions. So
Okay.
unless I don't think I can double it up with my hunted shot. I don't think I can take Hunter's aim and then strike twice in 2 actions.
No, I don't think so.
I think that feels like a lot.
It feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot. So I'm done.
Okay.
Did something
You
though.
are finished. But Zima is not. She's just getting started.
So what I would like to do is cast light either right in front of Bill or like on a stone in front of him or a tile or whatever it
Sure.
might be. And as I cast it, go, now I'm going to light you on holy fire, you horrible, horrible dragon beast. Yeah, and essentially, as she does that, kind of looks at Bill and is like, okay, act like you're like on fire.
Go ahead and make that deception or performance check.
All right. Deception. They're the same. Okay. 15.
15 is a failure. 15's not gonna do it. Bill is like too distracted by Hawk's flying arrows. He seems like unusually scared of them, and he like forgets to react to your light. And he's like, the kobolds, they are starting to get so rowdy now. It looks like all heck is breaking loose. You got any other actions?
I'm just gonna watching that not happen. I just want to go over and just kind of like act like I'm gonna punch Bill in the face.
Sure. Another deception check as an unarmed strike.
This is amazing,
that
Jim.
Is an 18.
An 18 is a success.
Yeah.
You have to roll 1d6 plus your charisma modifier in fake damage.
Charisma modifier. Okay. 4 damage.
4. All right.
How
There
does
you
that
go.
feel, Hawk? You got a halfling walking up to a dragon and punching it. It doesn't work.
It's her size.
In total, I've done more damage.
So Bill like
Maybe.
forgets to react to the light, and he's like, oh, sorry. And then as you punch him, he like flips over in the air, and he's like, oh, you're so like totally strong. Oh wow. And it's very convincing to the kobolds, who simmer down. Like there was one of them who looked like he was actually like the oldest of the kobolds, had like stood up, and he had this staff in his hands, and he was like raising it, and then he sees Bill go flipping through the air, and he's like stops momentarily. He's like, and doesn't do what he was going to do. But it is the kobolds' turn, and a majority of them are still incredibly angry. This time, 2 of them are throwing rocks. One of them is going to throw a rock at Hawk. So against your AC, that is only an 11. So that is a failure. So another rock goes whipping by, cracking against stone. The other one is going to throw a rock at Fanray. And Fanray, that one is going to be a 24 to hit.
Ow! That hits.
You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you're like mock fighting Bill, and then all of a sudden, crack in the jaw, this rock comes sailing from the kobolds, who are all like cheering now, like, yeah! This emboldens one of the kobolds to rush up and try to grab Harry Plopper. This is against your athletics DC, which is 10 plus your athletics bonus. That is a 19.
Ben got grappled. How's it feel, Ben?
Wraps
critical
its arms
success
around you. You are immobilized. You are restrained, which is basically immobilized and flat-footed, and you need to make a DC 5 flat check to cast any spells whilst you are grabbed by this kobold. And the kobolds were incredibly rowdy this round, and one of them actually grabs the spear and charges in and tries to stab at Zima, who had struck such a brutal blow against Bill. And Zima, against your AC, that is going to be 17 total.
Oh, AC 16.
Ugh, so he stabs you with the spear. You take 3 points of piercing damage, and the kobolds are just looking out of control. You're going to have to do something to keep them in line, or it's going to get actually deadly for you soon. Fanray, what do you do?
Well, I only have 2 actions because I'm stupefied, Jim.
That's true.
And slowed. Sorry, it's
That's
slowed.
true.
So Fanray is going to attempt a swing at Bill with her first one, with the rapier.
Gotcha.
Deception. And that's a failure. That was a 2 on the die.
No.
6 is 8.
That's so bad. It's surprisingly enough not a critical failure, but it is a failure.
Oh, man.
Okay. And with her second action, she turns to the rowdy kobolds and aims her dagger at them, ready to throw it.
Yeah.
And she yells, "If you take one more step, I will rip the wings off of this dragon and force feed them to you."
Make an intimidation check.
My wife is very awesome.
23.
23. That is a critical success.
Yay!
You move the kobold's rowdiness down 2 steps. The one, it looks like the one with the spear who had stabbed Zima, drops it and runs back into the crowd. One of them that looked like it was going to rush up on Harry Plopper and grab, or the one that grabbed Harry Plopper is suddenly rethinking his choices in life. Sorry, I don't know why I got lost there, but it is then Bill's turn. Bill is like, "Oh, we really gotta figure out some way to end this soon, guys. This is a little bit too much." And then I forgot he had critically failed against his command, so he is going to spend all 3 of his actions. He drops to the ground and bows his head and begins "Oh, this is really weird, but I think it's kind of working. But I don't like not having control of my actions." And the other kobolds see him doing this, and they, after Fanray's intimidation and now seeing Bill subjugate himself in front of these mighty heroes, they're in pandemonium. You hear rocks clatter to the ground as those who were about to throw just drop them. The one that was actually grappling with Harry Plopper lets go and rushes backs away. They seem to be in total disarray, and both of those things seem to have really, really turned the tide here in terms of where the kobolds are. That was all 3 of Bill's actions, so it is Rias's turn.
Okay, so they've calmed down a little bit then, yes?
Quite a lot. It doesn't all of them now are hesitating. Nobody looks willing to step forward for the moment.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna keep playing into that, and I'm just going to look. I want to look at all the kobolds, and because I was glaring at them at the end of my last round. And I just want to say, you see your leader bow before us. She will end his life. You should all be terrified. And I want the frills to come up off the side. Ooh. I want to try to demoralize all of them, Jim.
Make an intimidation check.
That is going to be a 16.
16 is a success. All of the kobolds have now backed away entirely. It doesn't look like any of them are going to step forward.
So they are also, if they lose on that, they are frightened 2.
Frightened 2. Frightened 2, and nobody is willing to risk their necks now. It seems like to them, the tide has totally turned. All is lost. You hear moans of despair, panicked chattering as some of them discuss running away entirely. And it is.
I'll keep my frills up, and I just want to take at least another 5-foot step towards them as well too.
You step towards them menacingly as they back away from you. Harry Plopper, you've been released, even though you were just grabbed. Then suddenly your companions seem to have frightened all the kobolds away. You are released. What do you do?
So Harry Plopper will he's gonna say,
I want you all to know that I'm the boy who died, and if I die again, well, I'll just be brought back to life, and then I'll come back weaker than before. But now you should fear me. Nevada Decavra!
he's gonna cast telekinetic projectile and shoot a rock at the dragon and try to avoid hitting it, but make it
Sure.
look like it.
Deceive them, Harry Plopper.
Great. That's a 4.
That is a critical failure. It looks like your ridiculous display. Like the rock goes like bouncing off the wall, bounces back towards you, and like hits you on the head. And you're like, ooh, and all of the kobolds start laughing uproariously, and they're like, you can hear some of them like, wait, no, they're still idiots. We help. And they begin advancing again on the combat, which will take us to Hawk's turn. You see that things were going so well until Harry Plopper had to ruin it. What do you do?
Plopper.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna take another one of those hunter shot. The aim. I'm gonna take my aim, nice and slow, taking 2 whole actions to make sure that I get this right. And by that I mean get any advantages to it. Hey, there's a 19 total!
Hey, that's going to do it. That is a success. Roll that fake damage.
All right. Hey, that's 4 plus the raspberries is 5 total.
You can see that Bill is looking very bloodied. And he's like starting to like dramatically sway on his feet. And he's like, almost, guys. I think we got him. It is Zima's turn.
Eat him.
I think Zima, just seeing that we're so close, she's just going to go over there and try and kick him right in the face.
Try to kick him while he's still on the ground.
Bowing down.
Yes,
yeah.
if you can manage this.
Okay.
I think this will surely be the end.
But
12?
Unfortunately, you managed to slip on a little bit of raspberry juice, which has gotten all over the floor, and your foot goes wide, and instead of looking fierce, it looks kind of ridiculous, and you are unable to connect with Bill in a convincing manner in any way. The kobolds, once again, a little emboldened this time. Some more rocks come flying out of the darkness, though no others seem to be willing to step forward. Hawk, here comes a rock at you. That is going to be only an 8. So I think that is going to miss horribly.
That's a critical failure.
Critical miss. So this rock just goes sailing way over your head. They're still apparently far too frightened. And in fact, they're frightened, or they're frightened too right now. So that would actually be an even more critical failure because I forgot that penalty that they have to take. There is one more rock coming out of the darkness, And that one will go right for Harry Plopper.
Yeah.
Harry Plopper, because you looked so silly. Unfortunately, this rock is probably going to look just as silly with a total of 5 with all of my penalties.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that does not hit.
Somehow managed to miss the little boy wizard.
He just shambles out of the way.
The kobolds that had regained their confidence don't seem to have regained it enough to actually succeed at doing anything. Fanray, it is the top of the next round. You're still feeling slow.
This is the
But you feel
most
like you do have a
fun.
chance to end this.
This is the most fun Fanray has had working for Heroic Endeavors. I think this should happen every opportunity that she gets from now on. But she will take 2 attacks against Bill, because this needs to end, man. All right. A thrust with the dagger. Woo! 16 on the die. Plus 6 is 22.
That is a success.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. So only plus 1 for the raspberry juice. That's 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. You come down, swipe Bill, and it looks like he was just about to take off into the air again after the effects of Rias' spell ended. But then you come in and sort of jab him in the back with your knife, leaving us another raspberry stain. He does rise up into the air, but he's all dramatically wobbly, and he swoops overhead in an erratic pass and crashes again to the mossy floor. He makes a dramatic effort to rise, but then falls feebly back down. Villains! I'm slain. Oh no.
Yay!
I see death totally coming to claim me. He folds his butterfly wings over his body. There's a moment of stunned silence before he gasps, "Alas! Oh, the pain is so cold. Totally cold." And then before your eyes, he vanishes. The kobolds all gasp in horror, some of them sobbing and wailing and beating their chests before they begin to flee en masse from the cave, leaving you alone. Victorious? A few moments later, Bill reappears, and he's licking raspberry juice off of his paws. He's "Oh, guys, that was totally awesome. I don't think that could have gone any better. Excellent work. You got me. I felt dead. That's how in it I was." And with that, we will actually take a short 5-minute break before we come back and play out the rest of our adventure, because though you have slain Bill, our adventure is not over. We will be back in just 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah!
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Gather your crew and prepare to embark on the journey of a lifetime as you explore the packed worlds of the Starfinder universe, taking on the role of a science fantasy hero customized to fit your playstyle. But danger lurks amongst the stars. Will you fight back with advanced weaponry and cunning tactics? Or will your hero wield the devastating forces that fuse magic and technology together to alter reality? Your crew must come together if you have any hope of victory. In Starfinder, every decision drives the adventure as you build an epic saga with your friends. Bring your story to life in a game where the fate of the worlds rests on the answer to the most important question of all. What do you do? Begin your journey into the Starfinder universe today with the Starfinder Beginner Box, now available at Paizo.com, your local gaming store, and anywhere else adventure can be found.
YouTube.com/the DaT Network. YouTube.com/the DaT Network. The DaT Network. Man, that's a mouthful. Heroic Endeavors can be found. No, Heroic Endeavors is. No. Watch past episodes of Dragons and Things Heroic Endeavors on YouTube.com/the DaT Network. Okay, I got it. All right. Now to record.
Hello, this is Sunrise Station. Please don't be the Scourge again.
This is
the Scourge again, isn't it?
No, it's Egrooks. The place we are in just went into martial law, and we could use your help. Just thought you should know.
I'm not dealing with it no more. This is a trick. Egrooks is Scourge backwards. I'm hanging up now.
But really it is martial law! Ugh, oh well. Give me my dash gold!
So I guess I'm a little worried about my players. They've just been acting a little strange. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's great that they're invested in their characters. But I think all this time inside is really starting to get to them. And I'm a little worried they might hurt someone.
Take this!
Or themselves. And I guess I'm not sure what to do. It's becoming a real problem, and... Gotcha! Help me.
Give me all your gold, I would have got you. You're making a big mistake, Val. Yeah, why's that? Because I control the power of the universe.
If the atmosphere at your table is less than impressive,
That doesn't normally happen.
you may find it hard to create those magic moments your players crave. Lucky for you, Sirenscape is available for download on your mobile device.
Doctor!
Now that's impressive.
First time! Every time.
Go to Sirenscape.com today to download your free trial and get the right sound for your tabletop games. And don't forget to check out Sirenscape in action every Friday night on Dragons and Things.
Hey, PaizoCon people, we are back as promised for the second half of our PaizoCon Heroic Endeavors special. For all of you who are just joining us, we are the Dragons and Things Network. We stream, if you saw any of the commercials, you'll see we stream a whole bunch of shows, but we stream them normally over on our own Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/the DaT Network. I know that some of you have already gone over there and followed us, like Nightworks, Sadworm, and M. Groening. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We hope that you'll come over and enjoy some of our regular programming when you're not enjoying the PaizoCon streams. For the rest of you, please check out our page. Again, we do, as you saw, we do some Starfinder content. We do Pathfinder 1E content, and I do Pathfinder 2nd Edition. In fact, I will be streaming another episode of Heroic Endeavors on Friday night.
Ooh.
So without too much else, I think we should just hop back into our adventure because you guys were doing fantastic. You just
Thank you.
fake killed Bill driving away a clan of kobolds and potentially saving his home from being totally infested. Bill himself seems to be ecstatic that you were able to succeed where he had failed so many times trying to get rid of them. And as you're standing there in the aftermath of the battle, he sort of like swoops down and you see this pile of trinkets. You see like bits of jewelry and coins and he's like, okay, so like payment, because we didn't like talk about it a whole lot. I kind of figured that like the joy of helping me out was going to be like sort of the driving force, but also you guys have like economy, which is a weird concept, but I respect it. So here, I want you to have some of these things that the kobolds were just like bringing me. I don't even know where it's from. I just like could not get them to stop. They kept saying it was my hoard, and like, I don't even do that. So here you go. And he grabs a bunch of rings and necklaces and brings them over. And just looking at it, you guess he's got like 35 gold scales worth of jewelry that he just hands over to you. And he's like, here you go. You can like totally have that. Also, like, why don't you guys chill here tonight? Because like it's late out and we can hang for a little bit and then you guys can go out back home in the morning.
I suppose that's not a horrible idea, right?
We did. Yes, we spent most of the day on that little trek of yours, and with helping you, I think I would be all right with staying here as well.
I agree. I could use some rest.
Okay. So you agree to stay. And Bill flutters about. He seems to be absent-minded but somewhat concerned with being a good host. Like, he clears away all of the rancid food that the kobolds were enjoying and brings in like actual food. He's like, don't worry, I got you guys covered. Yes, Harry Plopper?
Harry Plopper doesn't eat that food. He goes for the rancid food.
Okay. The Bill's just like, oh, okay, like whatever, man. So he feeds you. The cave is really, really comfortable. The moss that like covers all the stone is very spongy. So even though there are no beds, you actually find very comfortable places to sleep. And it's a surprisingly restful night. The only thing that you notice is that about, midnight or so, you hear like crying, and you look over and Bill is holding on to some of there's one of those butterfly wing harnesses that the kobolds, one of them had left it behind, and he's like holding on to it, and he's like, gonna miss you, little guys, but I think it was just like time. And then the rest of the night passes peacefully. In the morning, you wake up feeling refreshed, feeling ready to head back into town. Perhaps you can weasel some more money out of your bosses by convincing them that you slayed an actual dragon, but you're not really certain. You realize that they will absolutely at some point figure out that no dragon has been slain when there isn't like a massive scaly body as proof, but maybe you'll figure something out. So you say your goodbyes to Bill and head off through the woods towards Cavalosha. This was certainly one of the oddest jobs you've had to do in your tenure at HEI, but all in all, none too dangerous, so that's something. And technically, you fought a dragon. So that's something. As you are making your way back through the woods for roughly an hour, you begin to hear shouting up ahead. It sounds like voices, angry voices, and then a sharp, pained cry. What do you do?
Well, we're heroes, right? So we help. Maybe we can get more payment out of them.
I don't know where your head is at.
I'd like to sneak forward to try and see what the commotion's all about.
Sure, make a stealthy check. Stealth for me.
Stealth time. Well, that's a 15.
Okay. You soon... is anybody else going with Hawk, or is he going to scout ahead on his own?
Fanray would hold everyone back for the moment.
Okay.
Yes, I would not move.
All right.
Long tail.
So, Hawk, you come upon a small camp where you see two men in hide armor, and they're standing over a scaly kobold with broken butterfly wings. One of them kicks the kobold and says, "Speak, you rat! Where are your disgusting little friends? Speak, or I'm going to break your thieving hand!" And he bends down and he grabs the kobold's hand in a meaty paw. And the kobold like wails in fear, and he tries to say something in his own language, but it's clear, like, you couldn't understand them, and it's very clear that these guys aren't going to understand him. And this guy's like, you stupid, filthy little beast. We should just kill it. I'll make a nice pouch from the hide. And they both start laughing. But neither of them seems to have noticed you yet. What do you do?
Oh, man. That's not very nice of them. Hawk's going to try to do one of those, like, whistle calls. Would that be a nature check to know which kind of bird it is?
Well, it sounds like what you really want to do is a deception check, but you don't want to use your deception bonus because it's terrible.
Because it's non-existent.
Given that you are trained in scouting and moving through the woods, I will allow a nature check to successfully mimic a bird call.
Now,
all right.
Jim Jam, would it be a nature check to discover that bird is not
it
a bird?
Would be a nature check on the person hearing its part to see, oh wait, that's no bird, that's a signal.
That would be a 19 plus an 8, making it a 27.
I'll call that a critical success, giving whoever is hearing this and making a nature check a +2 bonus.
Good.
Ooh,
So
buddy.
Determine that it's a signal.
Total of 9.
14.
Ooh.
I'll try it. 4.
23.
You all,
there we go.
You all hear this bird, and you're like waiting on Hawk, and nobody seems to be reacting, Zima. But you're like, wait, no, that's the signal. That's the we're being signaled.
It's time to go, everyone. Why are you just standing here like this?
I like to think that Harry didn't hear it because he's just now catching up to the party.
He just gets there. Been trailing behind the whole time.
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, as I wait for them to show up, I want to mark the guy holding the kobold.
Okay.
I want to kind of like hunt prey him, and I'm just like waiting for something to happen.
Oh, okay. Bows drawn. The two seem to be not really doing anything. They seem to be sort of talking amongst themselves about like what they're going to do. And you catch like one was like, we're going to have to find our friends eventually. We're going to have to get back all that loot, or Mad's going to have our heads. And we got to just find out where they've been hiding all of it. I don't even care if we kill the buggers, although that would be a plus. I mean, this one was weak enough. I think, depending on how, they're just chatting amongst each other, making these plans. And it does seem that they want something from this kobold, so they don't seem willing to actually act out their threat of killing it just yet. And I would like you to make a society check.
All right. Is it a bird society?
It's just a regular society check with no additional bonuses to it.
Well, with another 19 on the dice plus 1, that would be a 20, Jim.
20. The one that has been sort of threatening the kobold reaches down as he's talking to his friend, and you see his arm sort of comes out of his sleeve a little bit, and you see this tattoo. It is a crossbow bolt through a human skull. And then he's talking about Mad. And you're putting 2 and 2 together, and you remember that back in the city, there are posters in the HEI headquarters of wanted criminals. And there is a notice out for a gang that has thus far eluded the authorities in Cavalocia, and it is a gang headed up by a woman famous for robbing people on the road using her trademark crossbow, and they are known as the Crosswind Gang, named after their leader, Mad Crosswind. And it is just about that time that your companions catch up to you. Now, the only question I had for your companions were they just stepping forward or were they sneaking forward?
No.
I don't know.
We're going to sneak because Fanray has the skill feat Quiet Allies. So I can lead the group, and I am the only one that has to roll a stealth check.
Oh, fancy. With your feats and your abilities.
I'm giving her buffs. Plus 5, Jim.
For what? Just cause?
Just because. We got buffs.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you managed to get up to Hawk. And Hawk, right as this is dawning on you, Fanray reaches out and puts her hand on your shoulder. She's got the whole group in tow. Everybody has snuck up admirably quietly. You're all together. What do you do?
I would whisper to just whoever's right, Fanray, who's right next to me. These two work for Mad, and I think the kobolds stole some of their loot.
It's probably the loot we have with us.
Well, yeah.
Well, do we save the kobold? What, Grey Boy?
Sorry, I was just listening in to what the kobold had to say, and the kobold has to say.
What are you doing, Ben? What are you trying to do?
I'm
to
rolling
me?
a perception check on what the kobold is saying.
The kobold has not been speaking. He's lying almost unconscious on the ground watching these two humans bicker in a language he doesn't understand.
The kobold is saying nothing. So I think we should go help it.
All right. Well, at least we might be able to tie one of them up and get information for where Mad is. Maybe we can turn in 2 quests at once.
I would agree with that sentiment for sure.
I like it. Let's do it.
We only need one alive, right?
Right.
I
and you
would like
undead.
I would like to take a hunter's aim at the guy's leg.
Okay. Then we will have you roll an attack as your surprise round, and then we will immediately roll initiative. Go ahead and roll.
All right.
But we're using stealth, right, Jim?
Yes, those of you who are sneaking about using stealth as your...
That was all of us. Great. Okay.
So that's an 18 to hit.
18 is a hit.
All right. That's going to be a D8 of damage. I don't think it doesn't get any other... So it's only 3 damage.
Okay.
He's got an arrow in his leg.
He's got an arrow in his leg. You fire this shot. As soon as you do, pandemonium breaks out amongst the camp. One of the one who'd been threatening the kobold like perks up real quick. He's like, "They shot you! We're under attack!" He just doesn't seem to know what to do at first. And the other one like grabs the arrow and he's like, "Don't just stand there! Get a weapon!" And it is time to roll in it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, baby. And you said we're using stealth.
Stealth.
Yeah.
Dokie. 12 for Rias.
12 for Rias.
24. Nope, 26 for Fanray.
Ooh,
Fanray
better
on
than a
top
bat
of it
maker
once
for you.
again.
26 for Hawk, too, though.
Whoa.
Wow.
I think I know that Hawk is going to go first. For bonuses.
18 for good old Harry Plopper.
Wow.
Wow.
Harry Plopper.
Zema
That's
has
exactly what you had
23.
last time, bud.
I know.
Zima.
23.
Whoa, you guys
Nice.
are on it. Getting the drop. Hawk, you fire your shot. Arrow sinks into this guy's leg. The 2 goons up ahead of you are just panicking as they frantically reach for weapons. But you go first.
Yep. And I have already marked him as my hunted prey. So I'm going to use 1 action to take 2 quick shots.
All right.
So here's the first shot. That's a 16 on the dice. Plus 8 is a 24.
24 is, that's a hit, bud.
All right. That's 8 damage. Max damage on that one.
Ouch.
And now here comes the second attack, which comes in at a -5.
That is correct. -5.
All right. Oh, no. Well, that is a critical failure.
Critical failure. Your arrow, like, thunks into the tree. The shaft of the arrow just, like, splinters and shatters.
All right. Well, now, here's the thing. I've only used 1 action, so I'm going to use 2 more actions to take my hunter's aim on that same guy to give me, it would be a -10, but now it's +2. So pretty much it's a straight die roll.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. No, that's a 6.
6 is not going to do it. You one arrow. You looked really cool for a moment.
I did.
But he's not going so well for your second shot. Your second volley.
2 for 4.
Fanray.
How far away are we from where we had been hiding to
20 feet.
20 feet?
Yeah.
Fanray, we'll move forward 10 feet. And as she does so, I'd like to draw 2 daggers. Is that possible?
Okay.
Can I draw both at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. So move up, and I'm going to throw 2 daggers at this guy now that I'm 10 feet away.
Oh, you're throwing them. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Roll. You would only be able. Well, yes. I think you'd only be able to, because if you're moving, 1 action, drawing, throwing, so you'd only be able to throw 1 of them.
Throw 1. Okay.
But you can do it.
17 on the die makes that a 24.
Nice.
Yeah, that is a hit. Is that the same one that's been shot with arrows already?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll damage.
Yes. Uh, 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage, but after taking 2 arrows and a knife to the chest, this guy's had too much. And he just like collapses forward, bleeding out onto the ground. His companion is like freaking out now. Zima, it is your action. This guy hasn't even done anything yet, and he is in bad trouble.
Zima's gonna yell to everyone, real quick, did we want to keep that one that's bleeding out alive, or are we okay?
Oh, for the other one. Keep that one alive.
The one on the ground?
No, keep the one that's alive.
That one alive. Okay, great. Just wanted to be on the same page then. I will bless everyone.
Oh, no.
Okay. So in a 5-foot burst around you, everybody's gonna get that bonus for bless, except for Fanray, who's moved out of the range. So not gonna get this round.
Also,
what does bless do against an undead character?
I don't know. I've never dealt with that particular.
I bless specifically Harry Plopper.
I bless only him. I don't think it does anything.
Okay.
It says the targets are you and allies. You are her ally. It doesn't have an additional effect against you because of
my
of
heart
your
was
stats.
racing, so I thought I was already going to take just 5 from being blessed. I was like, ah!
what do we get for that blessing?
You get a +1 status bonus to attack rolls.
Nice.
Yes, and that lasts for a minute.
Yep.
Thanks.
And then every round you can use a single action if you would like to actually expand the radius of your bless to hit further and further out.
Okay.
If you'd like.
Nice. Awesome. All right.
But after that, Zima, Harry Plopper, you've been blessed. What do you do?
Can I see the weapon that this guy is trying to get to?
Yeah, he's got a short sword on his belt, and he looks like he's about to draw it.
So I probably couldn't telekinetic projectile it.
No, it's not an unattended object.
All right. So, what about that dagger that Fanray is that flying around?
There's lots of there's lots of sticks and rocks here in the middle of the forest. The dagger.
All right, fine.
Sure.
All right, so he'll take the knife out of the dead guy's chest, with his mind, and he'll go, Wingardium Solevia, and chuck it at it. That's a 17 on the die, so 22.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
You actually succeeded on an attack.
Jim, I think it's...
it was that bless.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I did 1 point of damage. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 3 points of damage.
I was going to say, you do get to add your spellcasting modifier. It shouldn't be nothing, or you really have built the worst possible wizard. So he takes 3 points of damage, and we move on. Nope, that guy's dead. So we move on to Rias. It was going to be my turn. I bleed for 3 actions. Rias, it is your turn.
Yes. You said the kobold, he is down?
Yes, he was like sort of slumped up against the tree. He's conscious and he's like now like panicked looking. Okay. But he's currently down on the ground.
I'm just going to raise my hand at the one guy. I'm going to actually step forward about 15 feet, raise my hand at the man, and I'm going to cast command. And I'm going to say, do not move.
Command.
Yes, will say.
You command him, and maybe it's just the fear and the adrenaline surge that he's feeling as he faces death, but he does manage to shrug off your spell with a total of 21.
Yeah, Yeah, that'll shrug it off. That's okay.
He shrugs the command off, not willing to go down just yet.
That's
and then it is
fine.
his turn. He actually manages to draw the short sword that he's been struggling with, steps right up to Fanray and tries to stab her with a wild look in his eyes. That is going to be 24 to hit.
That hits.
Fanray, no.
You're going to take 3 points of damage. It's a grazing hit. You twist aside at the last moment. It sort of grazes across your belly, not a dead-on strike. But it hurts, that's for sure. It gets through the armor. Top of round 2, Hawk.
I think we need to keep this one alive. So, and Hawk doesn't like that. She's just taking a hit. So he's got his bow. Ah, I got to start adding my precision damage. I haven't been doing
really.
that. I could have killed that guy already.
Nah.
And I wouldn't have even needed to kill him.
You just leave it off. It's fine.
Oh, no, don't worry. I've remembered it now. So, Don, no, I'm not even going to, I don't even necessarily think I'm going to do it, but I'm going to pull out my kukri.
Okay.
Run up to him.
Okay.
And attempt to trip him.
And a trip. That's going to be against his athletics DC. Go ahead and make your trip attempt.
All right. I think I have to use athletics as the attack, yes?
You can make a melee attack, unarmed melee attack, or athletics. Whichever you prefer.
I would prefer the unarmed melee attack.
Okay.
So that would be, let's see, what's my proficiency in that? I should be relatively, all right, that should be, yeah. Oh, there's a 15 on the die. So I know I'm proficient.
Yeah, I mean, the DC was 15, so you're already there, bud. No worries about the math. You managed to just rush up and kick this guy's leg out from under him, and he goes down in a heap.
I think if he falls, he does take a bit of damage, doesn't he?
I believe so. Sure.
Yeah. I had a nice D6. Now, technically, no, I didn't mark him as my prey.
What is this? Would you just do a thing and quit trying to get more and more all the time?
Look, I just want to be playing the game right, Jim.
Yeah.
3 damage.
Good. He's on the ground. He hits his head on a rock. He takes 3 points of damage. And that was definitely 3 actions from you. Yep. Fanray, what do you do?
He's on the ground, but does he still have a sword in his hand?
He did not drop the blade, so yes, he would have that in his hand.
Fanray will draw her rapier.
Okay.
Move up and attempt to disarm him with the
rapier.
disarm
attempt. You're basically doing the same thing that your buddy just did, so that's athletics or an attack roll against his athletics DC.
All right.
Rip his arm off.
Athletics or an attack roll. Oh, they're the same. But it's an 18 on the die, so that's 22.
Yeah, I mean, you just sort of stab down almost right at his hand, and he reflexively lets go of the blade. He's like, wait, what? You're trying to avoid getting stabbed, and then you just flick the blade away from him, disarming him. Anything else?
Nope. Moved up, draw, disarm.
Gotcha. Harry Plopper.
So Harry Plopper will look around and say,
this should have worked last time, but Drake Man Root.
And he chucks, and he's gonna try and do Tanglefoot again.
Okay.
So just to root him in place. Yeah, here we go. 18 on the die, so that's a 23.
That'll do it. That is a success, man. He's tangled up.
All right. Yeah, so you take a minus 10-foot circumstance penalty to speed for 1 round, or you can attempt an escape to remove that penalty.
The only question that I have for Rias, you see this guy's tangled up. He's on the ground. He's disarmed. It looks like this just might be over. do you... Actually, Zima, too. Zima hasn't. I forgot Zima. So Zima and Riaz, if you intend to allow this guy to be captured, you can see he's pretty well beaten. So if either of you have an objection, we can go to the giving up stage.
Objections here. No, I would just
giving up.
Yeah, I would just move up to him. Just have pull out. Do I have to? Yeah, I'll just pull out a dagger and just kind of be next to him, ready for us to interrogate him.
You step up, and he's like struggling for a moment to get out of the stuff, and then he stops and he sees all of you. He's like, "Oh, well, hold on. It's not even me that you want, right? No. I was tricked into this life. So I'll tell you where the real bad criminals are. Yes. You just let me go. I'll tell you where the real bad people are, and you can go and get them. Yes.
I mean, to be honest, yes, but also we have you, which is a plus.
But maybe if I tell you where to go, then you let me go, right? Yeah. Oh. We'll trade. No. We'll trade information from our freedom.
Well, I think we could probably still get the information out of you, even if we didn't give you your freedom.
Well, Zima.
Yeah.
I think it might be all right if we agree to just leave him here.
Oh. Well, okay.
After
he's real reasonable, that one. Yeah, just let me go, and I'll tell you right where you can find Matt. The real brains of our operation is Mads. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's the one that you're gonna want.
Stop talking.
Yeah, well, there was a logging village where they abandoned it, and that's where we're all holed up. That's where you'll find Mad and some of her boys over there. I wasn't even really wanting to be a part of her gang. She just, she kept threatening my life and saying that I owed her and I had to do those things. So. As I see it, I'm pretty innocent here. I'm a victim. So I hope you bring old Mad to justice.
Well, what do you all think if we just get this fine fella here to show us right where Mad is?
Harry Plopper is not right next to you. You hear like this gross smacking noise, like. And as you turn around, you see that he's chewing on the dead body.
Oh, that is just not... Don't do that around me, please.
Just stop. Just... No. Put the nice dead man down.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, so the way I see it, we can either take him with us and hope he points us in the right direction, or we can let him go, or we could just outright kill him.
Can I roll a perception to see if I believe what he's been saying this whole time?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and roll perception to see if you can.
16?
16. He seems in total self-preservation mode. He'll say whatever he's got to say to stay alive. He'd love to stay free as well, but like he really just he's ultimately a coward at heart, is what the sense that you're getting.
All right.
I think we should definitely take him with us so we know exactly what we are getting into.
Yes, because...
Taking the word of someone such as this, I do not think I would believe it.
Exactly.
That's fine by me. Hawk, would you tie him up, please?
All right. I'll do that.
Okay. You tie this guy up, and as the whole time that you're tying, he's like, "Whoa, I don't know. I mean, Mad sees me. You're leaving me defenseless. Mad, she'll kill me, and you're consigning an innocent man to death. But you get him tied up. He has no real fight in him. He just seems to be saying nonsense to try to get you to let him go. You do note that the kobold that they were sort of torturing is unconscious against the tree. And obviously, the corpse of the man that Harry Plopper went to town on has quite a few chunks taken out of his upper arm. No, Harry looks a little bit better after having his little snack.
Can after I tie him up, can I, since I'm in nature, do I see anything around that I might be able to help heal this little kobold a little bit?
There's the natural medicine feat that allows you to use nature instead of medicine checks. Did you take that?
Yeah, I did.
All right, then go ahead and roll your check if you'd like.
All right, I get that +2, which makes it a 13.
13. Yeah, it takes you a little bit, but you manage to bring the kobold around at one point, and as soon as its little eyes flutter open, he's like, rah, rah, what do you do? He seems absolutely terrified out of his mind. He was certainly in a pickle before, but from his perspective, you're the ones who slew the mighty Bill, and like terrified of you more than any.
We should have seen that one coming, I suppose.
Would you all like me to speak to it?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right. Hello there, thing. My name's Harry Plopper. I'm the boy who died.
I assume this is in Draconic.
Yes.
So when he starts to hear your voice, he calms down a little bit. He's looking over at you. He's like, "No, kill! No, kill!"
Oh. All right. But just because you're the only one.
You kill all my friends. I'm the only one. Oh, Graham Sean.
No.
And Harry's trying to like scare him away now.
So you see, he makes the kobold just like burst into tears and then starts, and the kobold is just like backing away and just runs off into the forest, terrified and heartbroken.
Draconic is a strange language.
I think I did it.
Seems you're quite impressive when it comes to making these little buggers run away. Little Harry Plopper. Need to have you around more. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
can we take a quick peek at the camp if there's anything as well too?
Sure, yeah. Make a perception check.
13.
13. It doesn't look like they had much of value here. They were apparently not even very competent woodsmen. The camp itself is pretty sure. You see, like the fire pit itself is quite a hazard. You're going to have to take care of that if you don't want half the forest to burn down. They don't have adequate supplies, even for just the two of them, for more than a day. So like they have like a rabbit that they had snared that they didn't even skin it. They've just been trying to like dig chunks of meat out. Like it's just a mess. Like these guys are clowns out here. They don't know what they're doing.
Perfect. Cool. Yes. I suppose we should be off then, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I'll reach over. I'll grab the guy that's tied up and just start pushing him forward.
Sure. You begin pushing him forward. He's like, oh God, my hands tied up. If I trip, I could really hurt myself, and that would be on you, wouldn't
It's a good thing we have a cleric with us, isn't it?
Fine. Be that way. But he leads you through the trees, and another 15, 20 minutes through the trees, you spot the overgrown hulk of several shacks and a long abandoned lumber mill. Perhaps leftovers from long-gone loggers, now apparently being used as a gang hideout. The guy is like, see? Why, as a man of my word, honest man I am, and that's where they are. So you go and get them, you know? But I'm going to stay back here, because, again, Mads will kill me. She sees me. And also, I'm all tied up. So I won't be much use to you. But if you give me a sword, I might even help you bring in these horrible criminals. Yeah, I'll help you.
My apologies. I do not believe you.
Can we roll a perception check on that statement?
Yes, you can. I mean, it's without even a perception. He's obviously he's not a trustworthy guy.
Quick question. Why did Mads say you owed her?
Oh, because then I had to work for her. See, she says I owe her a debt because I borrowed some money from her. And so then I tried to make payments, and she added on interest and late fees. And then before I knew it, she was saying the only way to get out of debt was to tie up those people and take all theirs. I mean, to work for her in a criminal capacity. But I did it unwillingly. I did not want to. No, ma'am.
What people was it that you tied up? Was it?
They're fine, I think. Just, on the road, Mads, she would waylay people on the road, and we would have to tie them up and take all their money and jewels. And, it was real dirty work. I never had the stomach for it, but, it was that or get the crossbow bolt right through the old noggin.
Well, seems like we maybe are taking care of something bigger than we had originally planned.
It's okay. And then I want to pull out and level my crossbow, just like right at this guy's face. Is there anything else that we need to know before going in there? Tell me now.
I think you've got it very well covered. Very well covered. Right, mighty heroes, just the kind of justice that this forest needs.
Good. I want you to turn and face the camp.
Okay.
And as soon as he turns around, I want to take the butt of my crossbow and I want to hit him in the back of the head to knock him out.
Crack him in the back of the head, and he just crumples like a wet paper towel at that point.
And it's about that time that Harry Plopper catches up.
And that is when Harry Plopper arrives. There's another dead snack on the ground. Harry Plopper begins eating the man. No.
He's not dead yet.
Stop!
Leave him be.
Oh, he's not yet dead. I cracked him on the head, but he's not yet dead.
That was a good rhyme.
Sorry.
All right, I guess we need to go find Mad, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I assume he took us to this logging village he had mentioned before.
Yes, you guys are standing just on the outskirts of it. You guys are sort of hiding around some old, overgrown equipment now. You can see there are several shacks that presumably would have been where loggers who actually stayed out here would stay out here for like weeks at a time doing their work before getting leave back in the city. There's an old disused lumber mill where they would have actually treated the wood and separated and actually made it suitable into actual.
Could I roll a perception check to see if one of the buildings looks used? I assume they wouldn't really be using like the logging equipment. And
yeah,
like
none of the equipment looks like it's been touched.
So would I be able to determine which building looks actually used?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Standing there for a good 10 minutes, you actually see people coming in and out around, like this places where they live, like people come in and out of buildings. You count 3 men, and it's right around the 10-minute mark when out of one of the buildings, a woman with fiery red hair steps out into the camp. And she starts talking, barking orders to some of the guys who are standing around. So you count a total of 4 people, 3 guys, and then what has to be Mads.
Would we remember if this is a dead or alive situation?
This is a dead or alive situation, yes.
Perfect.
As long as we can keep her away from the gray one.
How far away is this group?
You guys, standing well back to avoid detection, are about 60 feet away.
Nice. So, Jim Jam.
Yes.
Tell me if this is okay. I know I only have 2 actions because I'm permanently slowed.
Yes.
But I did take the metamagic feat Reach, and I do have a ranged spell that I would like to do. If I can prepare the Reach to it as like an action, but what do we think about this?
So you want to divide, so it would normally take 3 actions to reach spell, but you want to divide those 3 actions between 2 turns.
Yeah,
because you're currently undetected, you're not in any kind of danger, you have the time to prepare an action like this, I'll allow it, yeah.
So, if everyone is ready, me old mates, we used to take snowballs and throw them at one another, and I could do that right now. They're very painful if they hit.
Well, aim true if you're going to.
Oh, yes.
And he'll prepare a snowball, and then with Reach, just lob it in there at her, hoping to plant it right into her face.
Oh, gosh.
We can only hope that's how it works out.
Why did we let this happen?
Wait, maybe, can I make it a little nicer with magic weapon?
No, because he's just casting a spell. You can't cast magic weapon on, like, he's not creating a weapon that he then uses. The spell itself that's its effect.
I was hoping.
A magic snowball.
Yeah.
While it's in the air, can I hunt prey?
You all can take. Yes, you all can take an additional action.
You got it all the way to Megan.
Everybody gets a free action before we get into the initiative order. This snowball goes launching. I assume you're hunting prey, Hawk.
Yep.
Zima, do you have a free action you want to take?
We lost Megan. She's too into the snowball.
I am.
Fanray, is there a free action you want to take?
Draw my dagger and rapier.
Drawn weapons, Rias?
I've already got my crossbow out. I'll go ahead and load it.
I mean, can I bless? Or that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll allow it. You cast bless. Well, everybody gets a little better. I do need a spell attack.
All right.
Good buddy, Harry Plopper.
Come on, Plopper.
Please be good. Okay. 16.
16.
With bless.
I don't think I get the effects of bless.
Yeah, we're not going to add the effects of bless to this one. Now, the thing is, normally, that would be a fail. However, Mad is not aware of your position. She doesn't even aware that she's being attacked. She is what we would like to call flat-footed. A flat-footed that is going to strike her squarely.
Awesome. So excited about this snowball. Okay. So here we go. Oh my yes, thank goodness. Oh, 5 points of cold damage as it just smacks into her face.
She gets blasted in the face by this snowball out of nowhere and immediately screams, "We're under attack!" And it is time to roll initiative.
Jim, just to let you know, you take a -5 foot status penalty to your speed for 1 round.
Okay.
Oh, that's bad.
Are we rolling perception or stealth?
Stealth.
Yeah.
You guys are all stealthy, so you can roll steal.
Oh! How does a 30 sit in the lineup with a nat 20?
Whoa, gross. All right.
Boom, boom, boom!
Who's next?
Dirty 20 for Rias.
Dirty 20 for Rias.
Zema got a 19.
19 for Zema.
16 for Fenray.
Fenray, not as on it as you have been, but that's all right. Still a good initiative.
You could put Harry Plopper last.
Oh, Harry Plopper first to go, but last once it gets to the action begins.
He's too excited about hitting somebody with the snowball.
He was, you got way too into the snowball. Hawk, you are first to react after this snowball goes launching. Mad screams, "We're under attack." She looks over, sees Harry Plopper across the battlefield, wipes snow from her face, and she's got this huge freaking crossbow she's about to whip off of her back. But you do get to go first.
Yeah, I've all my focus has been on her, so I'm going to take my hunter's aim, take that nice 2 actions, get that +2 there, and I've been blessed. So there's a +3 on top of my usual. On top of the usual, with a 19 on the die, that is a 30 to hit.
Okay, you critically hit.
And so, I'm remembering my precision damage this time, Jim.
You do this every time, and I hate Hawk so much.
So I will roll my 4d8s and my d10 for the deadly damage from the bow. Oh, no, into the box, everybody. All right, that's a 7. That's a 7 for 14. Adding 10 between these two is 24, plus 5 is 29 damage to open on the leader.
Wow.
I hate Hawk so much. Wipes the snow away from her face. Red face from the cold. She's about to get this huge crossbow off her back and just lay into this child wizard that dared strike her from across the battlefield. And then this arrow just plink from 60 feet away right through her eye, and she just, without a sound, not a cry, she just falls back onto her back dead. And everybody is standing looking at her, almost like they can't believe it, like they're waiting, like surely she's going to get up. But she doesn't twitch or move. She is stone dead.
And Harry looks at Hawk and he goes,
I think we both did it.
It's Rias's turn.
I mean, technically, I've got another action, Jim.
Do you have another action? Wasn't it 2? Doesn't anything that you do cost anything?
No.
Where does it all come from?
Because I hunted prey earlier. I hunted prey, so it takes 2 actions to do that, and I'll still get 1 more. So I'm going to... I'm just going to take another shot at a guy, I guess.
Why not? You'll probably crit him that too.
It's just a 17.
Yeah, it's a hit. Sucks so bad, and I don't want to play.
That's max damage. That's 8 on the dice.
Okay. Well, he's not dead yet, but he's real getting there.
That is my turn.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Cool. It would be the boss's turn, but she died. So now it's Rias's turn.
So Nathan, the guy that you shot after you killed her, was it to the left or to the right of her?
We'll just say it was boom to the left.
To the left of her. Okay, so I see her go down. I see the guy at her right go down. I'm just like, I was actually aiming at the other guy to the other side, so I'm gonna take one shot with my crossbow. And that's gonna be a natural 1, Jim.
Oh, natural 1.
Oh man!
If only Hawk could have done that. The bolt just goes like off into nothing. But that was only one action.
See, Jim, there is balance.
Is there?
Perhaps maybe I should stick with what I'm best at then.
And I am going to do poo. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll cast guidance on Fenray.
Guidance on Fenray.
Yeah.
Which will take us to Zima's action next. You've got Bless active. If you want to expand the radius, it'll just cost you 1 action. Otherwise, the spell just continues as is, and you can do whatever you want to do.
I will expand it for 1 action.
Okay. So you sort of encompass the whole grouped up party now. Everybody's going to get that Bless bonus.
Especially Harry.
Especially Harry.
And then I want to use my sling staff and sling at the same one that Hawk hit. So it's up.
Sling away, my friends. Sling away.
Right. Oh, good. That's 14.
14 is a miss, but only barely. He seems to see, he's struggling with the arrow, and then he almost sees the stone come whipping at him, and he ducks just in time, managing to avoid that.
Can I try that again at a -5?
Just out of curiosity, does the sling staff have the reload property? Or does it cost, is it a reload
Not that
weapon?
I see. It doesn't say anything on here about it.
Then go ahead and make a second attack at a -5 penalty.
Okay, that's a 5. So I probably just accidentally aimed towards Harry instead, and goes over his head. Oops.
Just so you know, the halfling sling staff does have a reload 1, so it costs 1 action to load.
Okay.
So actually, you wouldn't do that. That second attack wouldn't go off, but you could use your third action. It was expand, load, sling. So that would be where you are for the end of your round.
Don't worry.
It is now these poor forest bandits who have they've gotten the raw deal, but they see their attackers. And they begin charging in, desperately trying to save their own lives. One is going to charge in at Harry Plopper.
No!
2 actions to get to him, 1 action to swing down at him.
All right. Yep.
But that is only going to hit armor class 7. So I cannot hit the boy wizard. The one that you shot, Hawk, is going to try to exact revenge upon you by rushing in and taking a stab. But that is going to hit armor class 14.
Sorry, I didn't hear. What was the armor class?
14?
No.
Nope. And then you had fired, Zima. So the third one is going to rush in and try to take you out with 1 strike with a total of 17 to hit.
16. 16 is my armor class.
Finally. I get to do some damage. That is going to be 7 points of damage. He just charges in, blade at the ready, and just sort of uses the momentum of his charge to drive the blade into you. But there was 2 actions to get to you. 1 action swings for each of them. So that's all they can do on this round, making it Fanray's turn. Fanray, you have guidance and bless active. So cool.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, now they're in my face. I was going to move up to them, but, they came to me.
They made it easy on you, I guess.
Yeah. She's going to use her twin feint. So, around the side to then, swipe down with the rapier second, hoping to make one of the guys flat-footed to her, whoever's closest is who she's attacking.
Okie dokie.
So with the dagger, That is a 14.
14 is not gonna do it.
But I think Twin Feint, does it matter that it misses, or must I hit with the first attack?
They don't become flat-footed, but you can still make your attack.
I don't like that, but I'll take the attack anyway.
Sure.
At a -5, oh, that's not going to do it, with a total of 6.
6. So you come in, the one that came up and tried to stab Hawk, you just dart in real fast. You try to feint, but he looks a little savvy. He sees through your distraction, and then you kind of whiff with your real attack. That'll take us to Harry Plopper.
So you're right up in Harry's face.
Right up in this business.
I didn't think that would happen.
And so he is going to shamble backwards his 25 feet. And then while he's doing it, he's going to look at the guy and he's going to go... And the cloud on his head, the cloud scar, like starts burning. And he has drained his cloud scar for his spell to come back to him.
Well, as you focus and concentrate, these guys are real quick. They have a particular reaction.
Oh, I
like
no
to refer
reaction.
to as attack Ben when he moves away from me, because he's provided me with an opportunity.
Wow.
I will take an attack of opportunity
That's
as
fair.
these guys have that reaction. And as you move away, Okay. So don't worry about it. Just what happens next?
Nothing. I just have I have 2 actions. Everyone else is playing 2E. I'm playing 1E. All right. I'm over here. I walk backwards and I drain my bonded object.
Okay.
Might we remind you, you made the choice to be undead.
And I am loving it.
You were real proud of it, in fact.
I am proud of it. It's fun. I'm having fun.
Well, now it's the worst person's turn. It's Hawk's turn, because we're at the top of round 2.
So, these guys have moved up into my face.
They're all up in your business.
I don't like it. I'm going to use my 1 action to grab my kukri.
Okay.
I'm going to use an action to hunt prey on the guy who's right there.
Okay.
And now, I'm going to try and slice him.
Slice and dice with that.
All right, so we've got 14 plus 9, because the bless is still active. So that's a 23.
23 is a hit.
All right.
I know you keep saying kukri, but all I can imagine is Hawk with a boomerang in his hand. So.
He doesn't have a kukri. He just has a really sharp boomerang. But he doesn't know it's a boomerang, so he's just beating people with it.
Nice. All right. I get to add that precision damage.
What? Isn't that just
Because
for
I
arrows?
hunted prey.
Is
I
it for
hunted
literally
prey.
all targets?
It is for ranged or finesse weapons, and a kukri's a finesse weapon.
Yeah, but it's a boomerang a finesse
so
weapon.
much.
It's only 7 damage though. I got Max there, and then I got Min there.
Well, with the arrow already in his side, that's enough to open up his belly, and his entrails just spill out onto the ground, and he's and then he dies.
That's a deadly boomerang.
He dies horribly.
That's my turn.
Yes. How would you like to ruin my day?
Well, first off, Chris is going to hold up one hand and it starts crackling with green energy, and he's going to touch the guy in front of him and cast harm upon him.
Harm. Now,
Yes.
the fun fact about attacks of opportunity is that I believe I get to take them when you use a spell within my range. Actually, no, because did somebody come up and attacked you?
Yeah, he came up to... No, nobody?
Yeah, so actually you could... I won't get the attack of opportunity because you can cast the spell and then move up.
No, sorry. He went up to Zima.
Yeah, so I don't get to hit you. But
yeah, I will walk up to the one attacking Zima
glowing hand touch him.
That you can do.
Yes. You get a fortitude save.
Fortitude save, which is... Okay, so how much damage do you deal? The total was a critical, so double it.
Okay, that's going to be 6 points of negative energy coursing through his veins.
Is that with... did you roll the damage dice twice?
Oh, sorry. That's going to be 10 points of negative energy coursing through his veins.
Yeah, so you just lay your hand right on the back of this guy's head, and his face almost begins to... It's like when Palpatine gets the lightning turned back in his own face, and his flesh just starts to sag. He's like, I'm too weak. And he looks like he's about to just keel over dead. He is still on his feet, though.
Okay. All right. Oh, no, I can't do that one then.
Harry looks over.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll just try to punch him in the back of the head with my other. No, I'm gonna claw him. I got claws. I'm gonna use my final one to make a claw attack.
Sure. This is gonna take the second attack penalty. So, but a natural weapon is always agile, so it's a -4.
No, that ain't. That's probably not gonna do it. 8, 6, 14 -4 is 10.
No. Shockingly enough, you failed an action. And I survive for just a few precious more seconds.
Before it's turn again.
So can I... Are 5 foot steps still a thing?
It's just an action to move 5 feet away. But yes, you can basically move 5 feet without triggering reactions, but it costs 1 action, the same so it's not free. But
okay,
you can do it.
I want to do that.
Okay.
And then use heal on myself.
Okay. So you step back and heal yourself.
Yes, and that is 1d8 that I roll for that.
That is correct. 1d8.
Nice.
6. That is a little bit better. Okay.
Feeling quite a bit better then.
Yeah. And then would I still have another action at that point?
Yeah, so it sounds like you used the 1 action version of heal, so you have 1 more action.
Okay. I'm gonna load my what did I call it? The staff.
The sling, yeah. So you grab one of your sling bullets, throw it in the pouch. You're ready for the next round.
I smile at that guy as I do that menacingly.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. It is Fanray's turn. The guy that you were fighting is now dead.
Great. That's awesome. The other one is over by Rias and Zima, right?
Rias and Zima are fighting one, and then there's one that was fighting Harry Plopper.
I don't know
trying to.
why this gray boy is with us. I don't know who approved him. But it would look better if we returned with all of our heroes alive, so I'll go help Harry Plopper.
Or undead.
Animate. All heroes must remain animate.
We all can move, even if it is slow. So I will move over there and take a swing with my rapier.
Okay.
Ooh, but that's a 10 total.
10 total
11.
is not going to do it.
11 with bless, but you know. And then I'll take a swing with the dagger in my hand as well.
Sure. Daggers are agile, so it's going to be at the -4 penalty.
Ooh, so that's an 18.
18, that'll do it. That hits.
Yeah. And this will be 7 points of damage.
Cool. Ow.
I can add dex instead of strength.
Owies. Did I take actions? Did I do things? I don't think so.
Sure, yeah,
I didn't take any actions. So I actually skipped my turn and went to Fanray first. So I'm going to take my turn now. And I'm going to stab Fanray 3 times. All crits. Here it comes. Here it comes. Attack number...
All in it.
Attack number 1 is a 13.
Nope.
Attack number 2, which is definitely going to be a crit. This one's going to get you.
I feel it. I feel it. I'm scared.
Because of the penalties, it's also a 13.
No. What about the third stab, Jim?
I'm going to take a third stab because I can. There's no rule that says I can't.
Nope, there isn't one.
With the penalties, is a 12. So I've moved backwards in my quest to kill Fanray.
Hey, Jim Jam.
Yeah?
Just to let you know, those would have all hit Harry Plopper.
Stop it. You shut your mouth, man. Shut up. No. This guy that just got the life force drained out of him by a lizard folk necromancer is going to whip around and try to stab Rias. Oh my gosh, why? 10 total.
Nope.
I am rolling so poorly, and I hate it so much. Attack number 2 is a total of 16. That might do it. Does 16 hit you, Rias?
16. Yes, 16 will hit.
16 hits, and I deal damage. 4 points of it. Tremble. I might as well attack a third time. Why not? I could always roll a 20. It could happen. But I rolled a 3, so I'm done. It's Harry Plopper's turn. What do you got?
All right.
And he builds up this snowball again. And he's like,
Me mates used to throw snowballs with me.
and he chucks it at the guy facing Fanray.
Facing Fanray.
22.
Yeah.
That's 4 points of cold damage.
4 points of cold damage. This guy is swaying on his feet. He does not look good. He's still up.
He also loses 5 feet of his movement speed.
Loses 5 feet. He wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. There's nowhere for him to go. It is somebody else's turn. Rias.
My turn.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that guy's standing there. I'm going to continue casting some more harm into him.
What?
Well, this time you are.
Did we skip my turn?
Oh, yeah.
Jim, are you trying to skip Hawk's turn?
Oh, yeah. Hawk gets to do things.
Are you trying to... Now, hold up there, Jim.
Okay,
now,
Hawk.
Now, who's closest to Hawk?
Take your pick. Either one. They're equal.
Yeah, I'll go help the kid. We already got 2 on the other one. Here we go. Oh, might not have done it. It's only a 15.
15 meets the AC. So that does hit.
Oh, but look, I was so silly. I did not mark him as my hunted prey. So
He's
I will
not your prey.
6.
You fool.
4 damage.
4 points of damage?
With that kukri.
Well, regardless, you didn't even need the precision damage because he dies. That was enough. The onslaught from the snowball.
Oh, yeah. 5
and the
damage.
kukri, it's too much. His frail body gives out. Now it's Rias' turn.
I will harm him again.
Okay. I will take an attack of opportunity this time because you are right up in his business.
That's fine.
Maybe with a 17 total. Oh, goody.
17's going to hit me.
Rias, you're going to take 5 points of damage.
Oof.
And I win the game. I'm now.
Yes. Make a fortitude save for me, please, Jim.
Okay. 18.
18, you pass it. And it was only 1 point of negative energy.
Weak.
So it was glowing green. I try harming. Well, then in my other hand, I'm going to have it start glowing blue. And I'm going to chill touch this guy. So make another fortitude save for me, please.
Oh, okay. I hate it. I don't like it. 19 this time.
19 is a hit. That is Let's see, 3 points of frosty damage, but you passed it, so not taking the whole thing.
Well, it's still too much. Too much as you just freeze this guy where he stands. He dies. There's nothing left. You've utterly defeated me. PaizoCon 2020, where we are officially banning Hawk from ever participating in again.
Nope.
But you have, for the moment, won. What do you do?
Well, I would probably say if we want to show that we actually took care of them, should we take her body at least back, or perhaps her head, or perhaps something off of her?
I suppose either will work fine, right? I mean, head would be easier to carry, a little messier.
We could just take a crossbow.
Oh, well, but then that doesn't prove that she's dead.
How else do you get someone's weapon away from them?
Knock them out, of course.
Or sneak up on them. Steal it when they're not holding it.
All right.
Perhaps we do take her body back. It is going to be the most evidence we could come up with, yes.
Yes.
Also, it will show off that perfect way that you killed her, Huck. Just a bolt through the eye.
Oh, and Harry, you can't eat her.
Oh, Harry's not in the group because he's already eating another one of the members.
Harry, quit
it. Sorry.
Yeah, should we double check these buildings, make sure they didn't have anyone tied up in there?
Absolutely.
Talked about tying up a lot of people.
Actually, Jim, while they're going through the buildings, I want to walk up to the guy that we knocked out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's down, I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm gonna coup de grace him.
Oh, okay. Well, he dies too.
Well, Con, did you just want to kill?
Mark it down. Mark it down.
Yeah, you got him.
Wow,
you guys are brutal. You guys are the real villains. Remember that.
I was willing to let him live.
I am an undead monster.
And I enjoy the undead, so it's okay.
You go through the camp. You go through the camp. You set about collecting trophies so that you can prove that you've killed and eliminated the Crosswind Gang. You find her very, very impressive crossbow, which looks to have a rune stamped into the butt of it. If only she'd gotten any chances to use it, it could have been such a cool weapon. But unfortunately, she died immediately and anticlimactically. Nevertheless, you gather up your grisly trophies. You determine that there isn't much else in the camp. It does look like the kobolds were very successful thieves and managed to steal just about anything of value. You would guess that all of the good loot is back in Bill's cave. In fact, you have some of that yourselves as payment for helping Bill. With all of that done, you make your way back to HEI headquarters in Kavalosha, where you are greeted enthusiastically by your bosses, who you report to them that were you going to report that you had slain a dragon, or that there was no dragon to worry about?
I'm going with no dragon because we know what my deception is.
So you assure them that there is no danger in the Serota Forest, especially since you have managed to eliminate a wanted gang of criminals, to which the HEI administrator is quite pleased and impressed to see the work that you've done. And you are paid on top of your fees for going out into the forest an additional bonus. So you get a total of an additional 10 gold scales to add to your treasure hauls. Quite a lot of money for a single day's work, and the promise that more contracts are certain to fall into your laps now that you've made a name for yourselves after catching such a high-profile target out in the forest. And with that, our adventure for the day comes to a close because I just cannot handle any more of you.
It was a great game.
Was it,
Jim?
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Jimbo.
Well, it was actually a lot of fun playing with you guys. You guys made this one a fun one. I want to give another big thank you to Paizo for hosting PaizoCon and for having us here to be able to play. It was a really good time. We hope to see some of you in our chats when we do our streams for our own shows. We are twitch.tv/the DaT Network. And we run, you saw the commercials, hopefully. We've got Runt Lords out tomorrow. That is our Rise of the Rune Lords campaign.
That's Thursday.
Or Thursday. I forgot what day of the week it is. Tomorrow we're not streaming. Thursday we're streaming Rise of the Runt Lords. And that is our Rise of the Rune Lords campaign that Ben is actually going to be running. And Jamie plays in, so you'll see her. And if you liked Heroic Endeavors, we have a whole new group of heroes that will be going on an adventure on Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, and that should be an equally good time. We have rotating for Heroic Endeavors. We've been doing a rotating cast, so you'll see some new faces, but I assure you, the network has a theme, and it's ridiculousness. So if you like these guys, you will absolutely enjoy the people that we bring on for Heroic Endeavors on Friday night. And then Saturday, we run our Starfinder adventure. Ben is running that one as well. And that is Starfinder. And Jamie plays in that one as well. So you'll see a lot of the Birches this week if you come join us on our channel.
And just a reminder, Jim Jam, that on Saturday, we are giving away the Starfinder core rule book. So all of it will happen.
Yes.
I think there's a tiny bit of overlap, but after the GCP stream for PaizoCon, we're still going after that. So if you feel like you want to jump on over after that stream, come on and join us.
Very nice. So again, we hope to see you there. It does look like we had a couple of people, Mace HKM and Ardvarky Vark. That's a good one. Ardvarky Vark, thank you so much for the follow. We hope to see you at some of our other streams. We also have 2M, Famous Foremost, and I don't know. A lot of stuff got an K. I don't know if that's a name or if it's just a letter that was thrown into my screen. Either way, we hope to see all of you during our streams. Thank you for the follows. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here. I'll let you get on to some more good PaizoCon online goodness. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
PaizoCon!
PaizoCon 2020!